There we go. We started. You should be. You say something real quick.
Say something.
There we
All
go.
right.
Perfect. I can hear you. Making sure
Okay.
that Discord's not being stupid. All right,
All right.
and let's go over to our live section. Hopefully this thing will refresh and we can actually send out the... Actually, what we should do also is send out a community post. Wait, no. Why would I send out a community post? People are going to see we're live. All right. Doing a little bit more of account reviews today, which should be interesting, especially because we're looking at each other's, so...
Yeah, that'll be fun.
If I can... YouTube will update and show that we're live, that'd be awesome. Here we go. All right. Right. Okay, that's in the Discord. Perfect. Okay, there's that. And here is... There we go.
Hey, Diva Patil, how's it going?
All right. Make sure Anka is working correctly. All right. I think that's gonna work. Find out soon, I guess. All right. There's that. There's that. Oh, that's kind of annoying, actually. All right. Looks like we're all set to go necessarily. I guess we could technically start with our own ones, I guess, right now, technically. And then
However you want to do it.
yeah, do you want to flip a coin to see? Well, I don't even think I have a coin near me, but
Well, we all know I don't win my 50-50s, so you want to just go first?
yikes. All right,
Let's
sure.
just save some time, you know?
Yikes. All right, sure, let's go ahead. Let's get rid of Anka. There we go. All right, so we'll jump through my account first and foremost. That's, I guess, what we'll kind of do first and foremost. All right, so, I mean, how do we want to play this? Do we want to just go through my characters? Do we want to go through my showcase and then my other characters? What do you think?
I don't know. I don't think it matters too much.
Okay. All right. Well, let's start with, all right, you know what? Whatever. Let's just start with Arlecchino. So I'm gonna stay quiet for the most part, so that there is no biased opinion in obviously my own account review, because I think my account's perfect. Not really, but, yeah. So I'll stay quiet. I'll let you, you just tell me where to go, and I'll do the clicking, and then you can show me what's going on and tell everyone your
Okay.
thoughts about my account.
All right, so we're starting with Arlecchino. Well, first off, I'm seeing these ridiculously high attack. It's being helped a little bit by attack resonance, but that's still ridiculous. Wow. And we've got a 72 over 208. That's so. If you guys don't already know, Vixen hyper builds his characters, unlike me. So his builds are kind of nutty, like just off the charts. Just a little bit EM is good, you know, the vaporize, so that's good. What is some of the? Yeah, using the weapon, yeah, obviously best in slot. I'm curious, what's the constellation? Yeah, C2. So this Arlecchino's pretty goated. Probably like very consistent 100k normals or higher. Like if we average out all the damage. Just boom, 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 boom. 4-piece fragment. best in slot. And I happen to know you got some really good pieces, and like I know your circlet, you got it pretty early, I think. That's a goated piece. Yeah, that circlet has a lot of attack. Goblet's really good too. Goodness. There's a crit everywhere. So yeah, you got pretty lucky with that. 10, 8, 10. Beautiful. I mean, it's like a top 1% Arlecchino. And then you've got the C2, right? So it's like, there's not much you can improve on. Right?
I will say I'm pretty
Yelan.
proud of my Arlecchino
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. Yeah, I know. I know you're pretty proud of that. Yelan's actually one of my personal favorite characters. Had her since her release, and to this day she remains one of my favorites. I like your Yelan because I think it's a good example of what a free-to-play Yelan kind of looks like. Because I know you don't use her weapon, you use Fav, and like I would recommend a lot of people to use Fav. It's I think one of her best weapons outside of her personal weapon, of course. You have a very favorable crit with 65 over 130. Very good, considering you're like almost 200 ER. So it's a very comfortable Yelan. A lot of HP, and the EM is even like that's satisfying. Right on 100. It's pretty satisfying. It does help for if she is vaporizing or occasionally. So yeah, that's a solid Yelan. Oh, you're actually using Fading Twilight. That's a good weapon too. It's right up there with it, because that's actually the event weapon that came out, I believe, with her release during that 2.7 Chasm update. So that's also one of her best to use weapons. So 4-piece emblem. Ooh, there's like nothing wrong with that. These are good. Oh, that was a lot of crit damage. Lots of HP. You've got a lot of HP in the substats. It's really, really awesome. Those are all solid pieces. C0, talents 138. That's great. You want to only really focus on the burst if you're trying to be as minimal as possible. So yeah, solid Yelan.
Let's actually jump over to Navia or something, because Kazuha.
So, okay, Navia.
Kazuha's pretty basic besides the C1, so there's nothing crazy good about him.
Standard build for Kazuha, which hey, 926 CM, really, it's really what you're looking for, right?
Yes.
Anyways, Navia, the attack is it's all twos. It's great. A 98 over 173. Wow. Let me ask this: have you ever not critted?
Nope.
It's gonna look like waiting. You're still waiting for that moment where you pop a Navia skill and you're just like, "What? You didn't crit?"
If I don't crit one of these days, I think it's just due diligence. Like it's just gotta happen at some point. So I'm not gonna be mad about it. But it's a 1.8% chance, and it hasn't happened yet. So.
Yeah, it's there. It's there. It's like getting a 5-star on the banner. All right. Oh yeah, using her weapon, goated. 4-piece nighttime. What do some of these pieces look like? That's a lot of crit rate. That's where it's coming from. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the pieces themselves don't have like, they're surrounded with pretty like stats you don't want, but it only goes into what you want on these pieces. So like, that's awesome. All the crit rate. Oh my goodness. C0, which she doesn't need Constellation. She's just super powerful. 8, 10, 8. Yeah. If you just spend 1 crown, it goes right into that skill. So that's a very solid Navia. I love, yeah, the crit rate's crazy.
Hold up,
get the right weapon on here.
Gotta switch the weapon real quick.
Guys, oh yeah, using apprentice notes? Best in slot, my guy. Like
Of course. Level 1, by the way.
Yeah, level 1, by the way. 44 over 213 isn't terrible, especially if you're using like a cryo character. You're actually looking at a 64, so it's not terrible. The ER is very comfortable. If anything, maybe a little too much, but 79 EM's good. You don't want like a lot of that, but you want a little bit doesn't hurt either, because Animo. Obviously using his weapon is going to be very good. 4-piece desert.
And now the garbage that is my pieces. Dude, I swear,
hey,
okay.
At least your Sans is probably better than mine.
I will jump in here and say this, though. Like Rift, this set, there are different sets I think that everybody has issues with. For instance, Nighttime did really, really well for me, obviously, with my Arlecchino. But, and there are certain sets that, like, Gilded's done really well for me. There are just certain, and, Mershal Say took a little bit more time and effort. Golden Troop was immediately extremely good. But there are certain sets that just are painful. And
There really are.
and I feel like this set is just bad for everyone. So I don't know if you guys do have a solid Desert Pavilion set that you got early and it didn't take you a lot of time to grind for, like more than 2 weeks. If it didn't take you more than 2 weeks to grind a solid build, like better than mine or even Rifts or whatever, I give you props because I think this set just hates everyone, in my personal opinion.
You could join our Discord if you're not already in there, and we have a share your builds chat where you can show that off and flex a little bit.
What's
but
up?
yeah, like it's kind of like Arlecchino actually when she dropped, her domain dropped like shortly was it after or shortly before or at the same time? I can't remember.
I believe it was the same time that she dropped. So as she dropped, the new area dropped.
They didn't give you any time.
Nope.
They don't, because she's already so good with the multipliers. But here we've had Emily set for quite a while before her release soon. Or actually, our friend actually has a full set ready for her.
Yeah. There's some pretty, and honestly, like that set as well. If you did good on that set, then you're probably going to get some pretty good stuff on, because I grinded so hard for Arlecchino. Anyways,
yeah.
Back to the water.
Anyways, yes. And by the way, hello, Admiral Bismarck. Yeah, yes. That set is kind of cringe to go for. Not gonna lie. You understand? You get it? Yeah. All right. So some of these pieces are good. Don't worry. Don't. Hesitation means absolutely nothing, okay?
Can we just sit on the flower? I don't want to talk about the other pieces. I just want to sit on the flower.
Yeah. I mean, that's a really good crit on that. Lots of ER. But, like, hey, you've got the main stat.
This piece
I don't feel so bad anymore. It's not... Okay, that's a lot like my say.
Yeah, this piece was allergic to crit damage.
Yeah. Hey, that one's not terrible.
That's terrible.
Okay, all right. I won't. I'm okay.
Yep. Now you know why my crit's so low. I mean, because here,
well, your crit damage is over 200 though. So.
Well, yeah, that's fair. But I just like if this had gone like 2 or 3 times into crit, it'd at least be at like a 50. And
right.
Obviously, like even if I try to go and look at other pieces, because we've done this with other people's accounts too, like I could go into this, but. Okay, like that's not really helping.
It's a lot of ER. Good night, and plus Gene probably just wants that more. It's more like, well, do I want to actually rip from the other character?
Okay, let's see if this goes anywhere. Hold up, I want to check something real quick.
It's gonna drop. Let's have it drop crit rate, and then just go into
full
crit rate.
Flat attack. 17%. That's insane.
Oh, there's crit damage.
Okay, you know what? Actually, hold up. We're gonna do some live.
If it goes into crit damage at an 8, then something's up.
Yep.
Okay. Well. All right.
There it is.
All right. Okay. And all right.
we're getting 2.0 of this piece, but
basically, tell me about it. I had to go through like 5 sands just to get the one I have now. It's ridiculous. I was like, and I have like 6 crit damage circlets with actually good substats that I did like level, and they're 5th pieces now for other characters. It's ridiculous. C0. All right. What is his talent levels? I think knowing you probably did 10, 10, 8.
I have no clue.
Oh, 10, 10, 9. I was close. That's how you want to go. I think if you're gonna use 1 crown on a Wanderer, doesn't it go into his normal attack first?
It depends.
Is that right, or is it the skill?
I would really go for skill because this increases your normal attack and charge attack damage because of the Fushidan and Tofukai. So personally, I would go the skill, but I know that some people go for the normal attack. The technical first priority is the normal attack, but for me, I put it in the skill first. But that's just a personal thing. I think if I was telling people, normally, yeah, I would do this. But
hey, Fury, how's it going? Good to see you in. But yeah, hey, I mean, your Wanderer's, solid. It's just solid. You've got the stats. You can see it.
Yeah.
Clear.
Just need a little bit more crit rate if I was going to build this anymore, but in time.
All right, now Xiao, your favorite all time early character. Now that crit, dear goodness, 84 over 208. Good night. Wow. Okay. Deathmatch, which is like the best weapon to use if you don't have his weapon, and it's not even by a small gap. Don't you think so?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that want to throw out, like throwing in Staff of Homa instead,
That's right.
and
Yeah, that is true.
while that's fair, this is what your crit can end up like.
Oh
So you
my
have to go way
goodness.
more into crit rate. He ascends into crit rate. It's nice to go into a crit rate weapon, in my personal opinion. And I know a lot of people also do the whole, well, if I had accidentally gotten another Crimson Moon semblance, which I don't know how you accidentally get two of them, unless you were going for the other weapon, I guess. But
Or you're
um,
just lucky. Which I just can't relate. I just don't understand when people are like, "Yeah, I just accidentally got a second copy of this weapon." So I just and then 2 wishes later, I also accidentally got this character on the other side of the banner because I got the first character, but then I still wanted this 4 star. So I was on the other banner and I accidentally got their C2. I was like, What? I only got 5 stars over the course of all Fontaine."
tough.
So
Yeah. I mean, like, okay, like the whole Raiden situation was definitely by accident, but I think it's just very rare. Like, I don't
yeah,
think it happens to one person 17,000 times. Like, I think it's happened to me once or twice. Like, I've accidentally gotten a character early, or I've triggered a 5 star early, or something like that, but it's never, crazy. I don't think it
hey
happens
everyone
too
else, how's it
often,
going? Magic Lover, Edward. Good to see you
unless you're
guys.
just amazing,
Or ignore
amazingly
crit,
lucky.
go all in on pure attack.
Just
It
coping.
sounds like a D-Luke build.
Honestly, that's not even cope, to be honest with you, because like totally here, like obviously as you see here, I'm just using Crimson Moon Semblance to show you his personal weapon has the same amount of crit rate, same amount of base attack, gives obviously way more attack in the ability. So you could have, with the stacks and whatnot, I think with my build, I could have 27-ish hundred attack. Never mind Pyro
Yeah.
Resonance if I somehow got it. So
Oh my goodness.
it's a
And
solid
then put a
build.
Bennett buff on it, and you're like, what? At least 3,600 or something like that.
Yeah, so
3,500.
it's a good weapon. I just personally, I think once you throw him out on field with this weapon, there's less than two enemies. If it's a boss, then you get 48% attack. So if I was to throw on a team of some sort, then he would get a huge buff. Never mind if I use double pyro on the team. But this is mainly the team you're using anyways. But
Goated.
um,
I like that team because it saves Bennett.
yeah.
You know,
So
it
he's
doesn't
already
use
got
him up.
2400 attack now. So it's a good buff. I like it. And never mind if you had, everything else here. It's just I just think it's a great weapon. So
Magic Lover says, been playing for 4 years, only had one 10 pull with double 5 star. And yeah, same here, except it was the worst possible double you could think of. It was on the weapon banner, first of all, and it was Kazuha's weapon and Aquila Favonius. Like, there's nothing exciting about that.
but keep in mind though that you've been playing half that time. So whereas someone like me, I've gotten I think two doubles and a triple, but I've been playing for 4 years. So you've only been playing half the amount of time that I have, and you got a double on the weapon banner. So I mean that's still pretty solid in my personal opinion.
Yeah, it's solid. It saves me some pity going into the next, weapon. But it's like really out of all the possibilities, if you're gonna give me a double, that's not exciting. Like it's like, oh, okay, good, great job. That's pretty cool, you know?
Yeah, not the
Like at least
47th
having a double
Aquila.
on the character banner with a 50-50 win back to back, that would have been like kind of nice, but it's okay. I'll forgive.
Forgive and forget.
Yeah,
Mainly
really.
forget. But yeah, anyways,
Yeah, this child's kind of crazy.
let me go back to the other team just so that we can have a correct placement of all the characters, so I'm not messing things up here. All right.
Oh yeah, it's 1,800 attack. We got obviously 4 piece for million, which you can do. By the way, guys, you could do 2 piece, and it's not that far behind. If your substats are better, it might actually be better. But yeah, that's good. 'Cause you got the attack, you've got the crit. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, the crit damage. Oh, the crit damage again. What's going on here?
And then a garbage circlet.
Well, honestly, the ER is very not like extremely necessary, but that's gonna be nice because I noticed you have 116 ER, so that's the only ER in the build is coming from the circlet.
Mm-hmm. And
And Zhao does need. I know, like he needs his burst.
exactly. No, you're right. And that's why, honestly, that's probably the issue with this build. And that's why having triple Animo in the team, as you saw, and having Farina as well in the team, creating so many energy particles is
Yeah,
actually
and
straight up
yeah.
necessary.
Well, and if Farazan and Xiao Yun are built pretty traditionally, they're netting so much ER, just energy. Because usually they're both of their free to play builds. Well, actually, Farazan's best build both involve Fav. Like my Xiao Yun, I even use Fav Codex because it's just so many particles. So, oh no, mine was Elegy. Hey, I mean, Elegy's really good though. Elegy's a good weapon, and I don't have it. Night Fury says, been playing for 4 years, and I got a Siege Wing and Dia in a 10 pole. And that
Nice.
wasn't even intentional. I was going for Farina C1 as you suggested in last review, but misclicked. Oh no. But hey, Siege Wing, right? Yeah. And if you didn't have Dia, that's a new character, you know? Look at the bright side.
Even if it's
Hey,
not, I think her
I think
C1's
that's
pretty
better
good, so it's not really that bad.
yeah.
Still, I mean, that's still solid though. I mean, you got a really good healer out of it and a really good like supportive character.
It's just that's still more exciting than like Aquila Favonia. I don't know. That's just me, you know. But I also don't have Dia, so if Dia dropped, I'm like totally okay with that. 10 8 10. That's how you want to do it. Now, is the normal attack more important than the burst, or the burst is? I think the burst is more important, and then the normal.
Yeah, so I think if I don't really like choosing the two because
Mhm.
the burst is extremely
They go
good,
hand in
obviously.
hand.
Exactly, because it's kind of like the same thing with Wanderer, right? In my personal opinion, if you're gonna go, it's like, oh, if you're gonna crown one, just crown this. And in my personal opinion, I would just not crown at all. Like I just go skip to another character if you really can't choose. But it's kind of like Wanderer, in my personal opinion. If you're gonna crown one, you got to crown the other with his skill and his normal attack. It's the same thing for Xiao. Keep him at 989 or 888 if you just want to keep him like that.
I mean, yeah, my Wanderer is 888, so
Yeah, and your Wanderer does extremely well. Honestly, probably better than mine. So there's like, for instance, right? This is going to help. The only thing that you're increasing in this is just the bonus damage for his mainly his plunging attack, because that's all you really care about. Everything else doesn't change. But with his normal attacks, obviously the charge attack and the plunge damage specifically, and the high plunge damage is what you really care
yeah,
about the
that
most.
400%. Good night.
So
That's high considering he's not like he's not a Claymore character, but of course he's designed for it. So
right.
that does change things. It's a solid Zhao. I knew what I was, coming across or expecting with that. All right.
For sure.
Eula. Also, I know this is one character you pulled upon release. Love her design, kind of a thing. It's just kind of disappointing that it's Physical's fault. I don't blame Eula, but oh my goodness, Wolf's Gravestone. No wonder your attack's 2600.
Yeah.
That's really good. It's like your burst is gonna hit really hard, but it's not like you're crit fishing either.
Right. Especially with double cryo.
That's good. I like it. Yeah, that's true. You're getting an extra 15% just from the cryo resonance alone. Yeah, that's nice. And if that other cryo character is Rosaria, well, then you have potential to get up to 30%.
Correct. Yeah.
So that's awesome. Man, that's high attack. Good night. 2-piece. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, sad that
And
I couldn't
honestly,
get a
once again,
4-piece
guys,
scale
it's
frame.
better if you have better substats that way, because substats are pretty much just as important. That's kind of good. Wow.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's good. Really good. The crit rate. That's moderate. That's pretty good. Very good. Considering its physical damage bonus, That's really good. I like the high crit rate. Yeah, that's just solid. 989. Yep.
Until physical gets better, she's not getting a crown.
She's just really well built. Hey, that's fair. Oh man. Who knows? Maybe we'll see something in SNES Naya where, they got to do something with Cryo somehow. Whether they give it a reaction with Dendro or something, or just make superconduct better, which in turn would make, maybe physical would get better. Who knows?
Chaucer, please help.
Ayaka, yeah. Ayaka, 38 over 236, really good. That crit rate's really good, because you're also getting the 40 from in a freeze team, right? So you're actually 78 at bare minimum, but then cryo resonance again, so 85-ish. Really good, really good. A touch of EM. Obviously, her weapon. Miss Bird is just a solid weapon. Before we started getting the higher crit weapons,
Very true.
like Miss Splitter was very top tier for a long, long time.
Goes on a lot of different characters too. It's a very good weapon for a lot of characters.
Yeah, it still is too. This flower, there's practically nothing wrong with it. You've got your double crit attack. ER is pretty comfortable. Double crit attack, and then EM. That's pretty much nothing wrong with that feather either. Sans is really good. You want the ER, yeah, makes it comfortable. Double crit on the goblet with a nice amount of crit rate. Once again, a lot of attack and ER. Another comfortable circlet. So that's your Ayaka is probably very comfortable, right? You probably get your burst back every rotation very consistently.
Yeah, especially when I use Shenhe in the team, which is basically you're always using if you're going to use Ayaka. So with high ER Shenhe, it helps a lot to get my burst back.
Noctum says, "Oh wow, the reviews are back." yes, they are.
We've come back from the grave.
Yeah, really. As forward to cryo being relevant soon. Yeah, don't we all? Well, or most of us.
Snezhnaya,
people
please.
who actually care about cryo, right?
Snezhnaya, please make
10
it
8
goated.
10. Solid. Very well built. Yeah, Miko, 79 over 177. Love to see it. That's a nice crit rate. Very high. There's a touch of energy. Probably feels good. Solar Pearl. Very great. Not free to play option, but budget friendly option. You got double crit attack. Solid. Some ER, crit damage. The EM's good. The ER is nice. Nice crit rate for crit damage circlet. Yeah. Very just solid. And then we got 11010. That's how you do it, folks. That's how you do it. If you want to be a little bit budget friendly, you could probably, I don't know, what would you say? If you have to only crown one thing on Yae Miko, would you crown her skill or her burst?
Yeah, it would be the skill. This one is pretty easy.
I'm thinking the skill.
The other ones aren't really necessary. Like, the burst isn't really necessary. It's nice to get the extra Tenko Thunderbolt damage because it is a very high damage in general. This is your initial hit you get on her burst. When you have your skills out and then use your burst, these are the Tenko Thunderbolts that are going to hit from the 3 skills off field. So, it is good, but like you said, yeah, I totally agree. The skill is definitely the way to go.
Yeah. A well-built Yae. Now let's say, oh boy. All right, brace yourself, folks. Brace yourselves. We got a 74 over 133, which is very impressive just because it's difficult to get a good crit on Raiden because of how much ER you want to go into. So we're looking at just a balanced Raiden here. 74 to 133, that's very close to a 1-to-2 ratio. You're critting 3 out of 4 times, so you're not crit fishing at all. And then you're basically at 260 ER. Feels very nice. 260 is like the sweet spot. You have 1500 attack using the weapons, so you'll go up to what is that? 290 ER when you use the burst. It's amazing. Emblem. I almost called Emblem the EM set.
Yes. EM set. Yes.
No. Okay. Double crit. We love to see it. Double crit with the attack percent. Very good. ER main stat. Double crit and attack. It's pretty much all you're looking for. Oh my goodness. I don't know how your goblet gets better unless you turn that one stat at EM to ER, but it's fine. Oh, I like how that spiked into crit damage.
Took so long to get. This was okay, so Rift always talks about how like his sands are so difficult to get. Circlets are the bane of my existence. So
it's funny how that works too.
I'm sure there's
someone out there that's just like, oh, I always get my sands, goblets, and I even get goblets on set.
But they're like my flowers
my
are
life.
Yeah, they'd say like their feather of flowers are like,
And I'm just sitting there like, how?
200 defense
There's no main
somehow.
stat to worry about. Yeah. See, yep, there it is.
You
C3 boys,
can just be
yay!
happy about that, but we'll move on. There's no need to flex it.
You can play a Raiden Overload team with your eyes closed. You're just kind of like, or just carrying on a conversation in real life, and your friend is just casually hitting 500k or higher.
Dude, the abyss is
As long as you use all
disgusting.
the other characters' skills and their buffs are up because of it, you're just spamming through everything, and Raiden's just like, yes, I'm gonna just casually hit half a mil real quick. Let me just, there we go.
Yep.
All right, you're dead. All right. Oh, you're still alive. Let me just use my 100k normal attacks real quick. Okay, just clean up a little bit. It's like, okay, this is unfair. And by the way, folks, if you don't already know, the way he has his talents leveled is like pretty much
Correct.
perfect to where you want to be. You want to like mine is actually 6, 9, 10 as well. So you don't want to level. I hate not hate, but like it disappoints me when I see people
Crown normals.
who's right in well the crowned skill even because when you upgrade the skill, it does increase the elemental burst damage bonus for your other characters, and that's good. But once you go from 9 to 10, all it's upgrading at that point is the attack damage. Like, it's just a damage increase at that point. It's like, do you really need that? It's not that much higher.
And it's like
Is
4%.
that worth the crown, kind of a thing? So I would just say no. So
Honestly,
mine's exactly the same.
the people that level the normal attack and then try to tell me that that is the correct way to go, and I'm like, guys, please just read the skill. Please just read. But just
Yeah.
I don't like it's like all normal, blah 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 blah. But the normal charge and plunging attacks are all considered burst damage. Please don't level the normals. I think it's well known now, but I think back when she came out in the first few months when she was out, I think a lot of people messed up her build when she first came out.
Oh.
That's all.
Magic Lover says, I'm multitasking, also watching the ZZZ special program. Jingyi confirmed phase 1. Jane Doe and Seth phase 2. It's a daily
Awesome.
login reward of a free temple too.
Yeah, I saw some of
Yeah.
that earlier today. I was really happy about that.
I did too. I did too.
Oh my goodness. Okay, actually, we're gonna jump over to Zenless for a second. Qing Yi really would love for my Zhu Yuan, but I've been waiting for Jane Doe for a little while, and I really, really want her. And also, since Seth is on the second half, then that means that I'm probably actually going to go for Jane Doe. I think pulling for a DPS and pulling for a new team is going to be better because I already have Ambi and Nicole for Zhu Yuan to make a really solid team, and I've already built them all. So I think going for Jane Doe and making a different team is going to be better for me. Anyways, that was a side tangent. What constellation
Yeah.
does your ride in? The good kind. No, I'm kidding.
The good kind.
No, basically what happened here, very quick story. I had her C0, R0. I didn't have her weapon. I was running the catch, actually, forever ago on her when she first released. And then when she got her first or second rerun, I don't remember which one, I did pulling in our Discord. And, well, I just realized my gain was extremely high. At that point in time, I was like, okay, I want to go for the weapon, and I had enough to go for the C2. Well, at this point in time, I was like, okay, I got the weapon. I won the 50-50. I think I got it about normal, like 60-70 pity. Like, it was nothing crazy. It was early, but it wasn't insane. Okay, I was like, okay, cool. Got the weapon. I went to Constellations, won the 50-50 for her C1, and then I went to go get her C2. So I go for I do another like 20 or 30 pulls, and I get a 5-star, and I'm like super happy. Everybody's like, extremely happy on everybody, and then all of a sudden we click, and then boom, Raiden shows up, and we're like, yay, we got to C2. I click skip because I'm like, okay, like I'm just gonna skip. There's no point in like seeing what the other parts of this temple are. Next thing I know, it's another Raiden and a Tainari after that, meaning I got another Raiden in the same temple, and I got a Tainari as well in the same temple, which gave me a guarantee for the next character I was going after. So I accidentally technically got a C3 with a 50-50 win.
That's really, yeah, and it's to this day. Here, I'm gonna share my screen real quick, and you can show them this.
Okay, let me.
Okay.
If I hold up, I don't believe I have Discord available, so give me 1 second. We're gonna have to take a second here.
Oh, I see what you mean. Like, yeah, throw it on OBS real quick.
Yeah, so you gotta give me uno momento. Rift. We're just gonna name this Rift screen.
Hey, yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I know, right, Eva? I could never. It'll never happen.
Hold up, and then we're just gonna go.
Because if I try to anticipate that, oh, maybe one day it'll happen, it may never happen. So I'm not gonna even think that it will. And imagine like walking away from Genshin like upset at the devs. Oh, I never got a triple. Bad game.
Okay, there we go. I believe now it's streaming it, so it should be there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there
it
you go.
is. Yeah.
That was also my
so
C1
this-
Tainari.
yeah. Which C1 Tainari is good. It gives them crit rate on the charge attacks.
Also, yeah, I already had C6 Kujo Sara, obviously, because I was already going for the C1. So I had C6, that was great. And then I got Stringless.
It was 2 4-stars too.
Yep.
That's the other part. Like, it's not just 2 out of the other 7 were 4-stars. There's only 5 3-stars in this.
Is this not
dude.
showing on stream?
Is what not showing? Talking about my screen?
Nope, sorry. Stream's just extremely laggy. My fault. There we go. So now you guys have seen it. Okay, I'm just making sure that it was actually available and not stupid. But yes, there we go. So yeah, that is the that's the good stuff, I guess, that happened.
Anyways, moving on.
Exactly.
On
where did this
CCC, I'm
thing
playing
go?
for Xingyi and need a second stunner to free up Ambi for my Ellen team. Yeah, you go for it.
Okay.
I'm gandering. She'll be pretty good. Stunner characters are pretty good in general. Like that's the impression I've gotten.
All right. Uno momento.
Are we looking at Baiju now?
Yeah, sure. Give me 1 second, making sure that I'm. Okay, I am still streaming too. Good. I was just making sure that you weren't getting screwed over there. Yes. Baiju. I mean, real quick. There's really like no need to.
I mean, yeah. Isn't that like the best free-to-play weapon to use? It's craftable.
Yep. 200 ER. Bunch
Orcus
of.
Deepwood. Yeah. That's what you want. He's a solid character. Very easy to build too.
Mm-hmm.
Very solid. All right, let's look at your Alhaitham. This is gonna be goated. Yep, there it is. 73 over 204. 434 EM. All right, settle down, bud. Settle down.
That's my fault.
Sorry, I didn't mean to pop off. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. That's a lot of crit rate and a lot of, oh my goodness, the EM. Ooh, nice. Double crit. A lot of crit damage, a lot of EM. And then, oh my goodness, the crit damage, the crit rate circlet. We'd love to see it. And it's 4-piece gilded, so like, yeah. Triple crown. Yep.
I'd love to go for his C1 or C2 at some point in the future. C1's pretty goated.
Yeah.
I
don't know. Maybe just throw a few temples in and see if you get a double, you know?
I'd love to.
Hey, Glora, how's it going? We really need a physical stunner, to be honest. Yeah, something like Piper, but obviously
It's better.
Piper's anomaly. But honestly, Piper's like I have a lot of fun with Piper. Okay, but anyways,
I like Lucy a little bit better, but that's just me. I think she's
which is
fire. It's
fair.
different, but
They're good together, to be honest.
true.
Farina. All right, 39,000 HP. Which isn't the Imaginarium Theater buffing people right now, or is that?
I don't know.
Because I know Imaginarium Theater switched to like Hydro. Yeah, there it is, Cryo and Animo. Which Animos stayed the same, but
I wish we could
when
turn
they're
this
in
off.
when they're in your party, at least you can like we know your friend is not in the party, so it's not being affected.
Gotcha.
So, anyways, but yeah, that's funny. You'd actually push over 40k probably with the buff. 74 over 160, very comfortable, very comfortable. 178 ER, also very comfortable. Like just a solid Farina, and using Festering Desire. Yeah,
If you have this weapon,
you're
you're
lucky ducky. I don't. Yeah, I don't even have it. Like, wow. Oh, I like that piece to get the double crit, the HP. Oh, that's really good on the crit. You got double crit, and the ER is nice. And then the really good crit rate. We like the ER. Those are all solid pieces. Yeah. C0. She's goated at C0. We got 2, 8, 9. Very well. Yeah. Oh boy. Oh my gosh.
Strength of Neuvillette.
Well, my Genshin career, I might as well just be done, you know, like I just
But we're gonna see the
no
extent
competition.
as to how far you see. Okay, we're looking at my account first to show you hyper built, but we're gonna then go over to Rift and just show you like width. Like you can see the length, like the height of my account, but you're gonna see the width in Rift's account once we get over to his. There's a reason that you either build this many plus a little bit more characters, and then everybody else gets thrown to the wind. And then you've got Rift who builds every single one. So, especially with the
Eula
Imaginarium Theater
says
going around, very
Lucy.
good.
I love Imaginary. It's so fun. And I know some people don't like, but I don't know. It's fun for me. Anyways, Cospilok says Lucy is the best character. My opinion. My opinion is the right one. Fair enough.
You also believe Fischl's good, so you're wrong. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
She's a good character. She's a good character.
You think fish are good, so your opinion is wrong.
That was an interesting voice. Yes. Wait. I think the term is dinosaur, and yes, I am. Fair enough.
Yeah, I was reading that too.
But yeah,
Uh,
I'm very happy with my career ratio in mine. Neuvillette. Took me a while to
and
get.
guys, just to settle the question, since this is not an actual video, I can say this here with more like, not more confidence, but like more. It's gonna sound more opinionated, and it probably is. It's more subjective, but if you're going to pull more than just C0 Nervalette, just pull his weapon. Like just get the weapon first, then consider C1. Because I have Nervalette and I have his weapon, but I have C0, and I still to this day would not trade the weapon for the C1.
I agree. I know people believe that the C1's really good, and it is.
I think
It's not
based
worth.
on what theory crafters say, I think it's something like a 60% increase just to have the weapon.
And I feel like
And
that's
that's
more
insane.
worth it than to get some extra little bit of damage, faster technically damage, and then at the same time getting some resistance. And while the C1's great, I just don't feel like it's not better than the
And
weapon.
you have C1 too. Like your Nervalette C1 has weapon. The build's absolutely disgusting. It's just a disgusting. Like that's insane. Look at that piece. There's nothing wrong with that. That's double crit the EM. Oh my goodness. Double crit EM. You got the crit rate, the ER. I would say go take a shower, but considering he's literally like the judge of Fontaine, you know?
I had to. I
Triple
had to.
Crown, 39,000 HP. Good night. That means if you put both of them in a team, they're both over 40k. Nervalette and Farina.
Yep.
That's pretty insane.
That oh goodness, I don't want to look at Yoimiya. But this is just to show the lows of the account, so we'll go ahead because this is a 5-star.
Hey, if you think 2400 attack is not good,
It's the rest of her build. Don't you worry.
okay.
She has a character. I like Yoimiya. I shouldn't have pulled her. If there is one regret on my account, it's Yoimiya. If I could give the wishes back, it would be Yoimiya in a heartbeat. Like no, not even funny. I would just give her back.
By the way, thank you, Magic Lover, sharing a Zenless code for you other Zenless Zone Zero players out there. He put a code in the chat for the 300 polygrams. So thank you. Actually, I'm gonna go do that so I don't forget.
Actually, yeah, I was about to say this morning. I don't know if you're the same person in our Discord who shared that, but that was very helpful. No, that was Bismarck. Wait, I think.
Right.
Yes,
I don't
yeah,
remember
Bismarck.
either.
Admo, you sent that in the Discord, so thank you, because I did that this morning, so you're a goated one for that. But yes, go ahead and do that if you are playing Zenless. Go ahead and put that in undercover RNB.
I have
all
forgotten
caps.
too many codes, just over time. So at this point, I'm just like, I put it in immediately. I halt everything, and I'm like, okay, let's get this code in.
Yeah, you will forget. But yeah,
If you're like me,
level 90 Rust.
like, I'll get it tonight.
This is
Never
just a
gets
meh
on.
build. This is an okay build. A lot of these pieces were got because I was grinding out Emblem, and the other set on Emblem's domain is Shimenawa's. So Emblem's gonna have, I was grinding it out for so many characters, as you can see. Kujosara, Xiangling, Yelan, Beidou, Mona, and Raiden, of course. So I was about to get some okay pieces on Shimenawa's, but some
I mean,
double.
yeah, and it's not bad. I don't.
Yeah,
It's still good.
I mean, I
Now
got
look
a
at that. Look at that. Double crit, attack percent. Yeah, there's. I mean, that's a lot of ER. You could argue, I guess, on that one piece, but
and this is an off piece. So like but the problem is that
yeah,
she's
your
at the
characters you actually care about have your good pyro goblets.
yeah, she's at the bottom of the barrel because I have so many pyro DPS characters. So it's like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
care more about Dia. Obviously, Arlecchino gets first
So
choice.
that's funny. The amount of people that probably keel over and die when you say, "Yeah, I care more about Dia than Yoimiya."
Yeah, but like Arlecchino gets first choice, then Hu
You're
Tao,
right, right.
then Xiangling, then Gaming, and then
Man, Xiangling's.
Dia, and
I got a
then
glimpse of that emblem piece. Good night.
yes,
And it's on set. There's nothing you could get better about it except just like maybe taking some of the attack and making it crit. Like, but those are all the stats you want.
yeah.
That's still a solid Yoimiya, and I know you also have the weapon.
I have Rust. I don't have her weapon.
Oh, I'm thinking our friend. Okay,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If I
Rust
did
is
have
still really
her
really
weapon
good.
though, I think I'd be at a 75 over
Mm.
180. So yeah, it would be I would have a good build. So I might in the future. We'll see.
Hey, Conspirlock, it's the thought that counts. You know,
Wait, what happened?
I just love this interaction here. Don't alien face me. Okay.
Message retracted. What did you do, Admiral? What was said there?
Oh wait, it says message retracted for you.
Yeah, I got like a redacted like
I
FBI
wonder if
CIA
the
meaning here over here. Like
okay. Does
looking
the
in the
next message
files.
after that is the
No.
next message after that fine?
Yeah.
Weird. That's
Which
so
server
weird.
is that? America server. How do you submit for review? You can go to our Discord, and as soon as you go to our Discord, you can go into the account review section. Just put your UID. We'll go in a little bit and actually talk about some other people if you guys want to do. Looking at your specific ones, we've already done like 5 other days of looking at other people's account reviews. We figure ourselves in the limelight and put ourselves in the hot seat, and you guys can make fun of us or whatever about our different builds. And right now we're making fun of my Yoimiya, so. But yes, if you want to, go ahead and go to our Discord, join our Discord, go to the account review channel, put your UID there, and we'll go ahead and do that soon.
And I believe the link to Discord should be in the description. Am I right on that?
It should be. If not, go to our channel page on YouTube. Just go to the channel itself,
Yeah.
the channel page, and go there. And that should bring you right over to our Discord. But yeah, we'll let's go through these a little bit quicker. I'm gonna speed go through my characters because the other ones, I mean,
All
these are
right.
kind of my top characters, and I mean, not to say these other characters aren't good. They're just more or less built just to be built, and we want to make sure we give time for Rift as well as give time for other people afterwards.
One of my favorite characters, Hu Tao. While the crit rate's low, the crit damage is very high, and certain teams can help it. Like,
I don't know why I just clicked out.
I was okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Four
what?
piece crimson. Like, I've looked at your Hu Tao before, in depth, and you actually have a very, very good like Hu Tao. Some people could say you run a crit rate circlet and just suffer on the crit damage, and it's up to the player, I think, if they want to see the higher damage but not crit as much. You know, it's makes for better screenshots, of course, but I eventually changed to a crit rate circlet because I was just like, I just want to crit more. I just do. And yeah, my charge attack's lowered in damage a little bit, but I was okay with it. To get 30% more crit rate, I was like, yeah, this feels more comfortable.
We're not taking a look at D-Luke. D-Luke has gotten, because of the amount of pyro characters I've grabbed, bro has gotten ripped off of everything. And especially his own personal weapon Eula just took. So poor guy got absolutely ransacked. But yes, because Gaming also came in, I think took away his build as well.
Oh yeah.
But
Hazo is probably one of your best built 4 stars, no?
yeah, probably, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, the crit's amazing. You've got a nice attack. You've got a solid amount of EM too, which is good. If Hazel's a driver in a soup team, works really well. Uh, that 5 star you got using on him, that's pretty good. These pieces are pretty good. Ooh, yes, double crit, crit damage with the EM, crit rate on the crit damage circlet, just solid. And of course, yeah, I forgot you had the C6. Oh my goodness. We're looking at it what, an 898 or something?
Yeah.
898, yeah. It's all in the skill, folks. If you crown one thing, it's the skill. Not that I would spend a crown on Hazo. Favorite crowns typically for 5 stars, but hey, you can crown 4 stars. We crown Bennett's Burst, for example. I'm gonna crown Xiangling's Burst. Yeah, and for everyone that just died right there, I like Xiangling. Sorry.
Oh,
Xian Yun, all right. Hey, the 191 ER, very comfortable. You're just over 3,000 attack, which is perfect because that's her threshold. You have her weapon. I forgot you had her weapon too.
yep, that's
But I
why.
think now I remember. I love her weapon, by the way. Like on a side note, like side tangent, her weapon just design looks really good. 4-piece viridescent. Yeah, just get the burst to 8. If you're gonna do anything, at the very least.
I gotta
Hold on, let me just rearrange some
switch
stuff.
this right back to where this was originally.
Like, hey, Risley, what you reading here in your office? Oh, just it's entitled The Apprentice Notes. Oh yeah, okay. 38 over 246. Goodness, is he getting crit rate from any other sources when
Yeah,
you play him?
4-piece Marechaussee. As
That's
well as
right, you
double
have him on
crit.
Marshall's. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, he's fine on the crit rate. Then you got over 2,000 attack.
I'm getting
Wow,
about
your
90
Risley is
crit at
actually
the end of the day.
really crazy. Holy cow. 882. Yeah.
I know people go for the burst. I'm just personally not a huge fan of going for it.
Why do you have over 100 books? Or scrolls, I guess. What are you saving those for?
I'm not saving them for
You
anyone.
could just level that. Like the. Okay. All right. Anyways,
I mean, okay, but like, wait, but why? Why put all the Mora into it? Because I just hit 10 million as well recently. Where are my books?
you spend 20 bucks on that skin. The least you could do is have a good build on him. It's probably talking about D-Luke.
Okay, you know what? He had a good build. Okay, it's not my fault that Gaming and Arlecchino just
Yeah,
said,
Gaming and
well, not even
Arlecchino kinda.
Arlecchino. Yeah, Arlecchino I think took his his goblet.
Wasn't it actually Hu Tao, though?
It was Hu Tao at first, but then I rebuilt him, and then he was back on a good set, and then Gaming just ripped everything away afterwards. Which honestly, I might even just back off and put his pieces back on because between Gaming and him, they both do really good in the same team. I would use them. It would just be like switch, so I could use D-Luke in the same exact team basically. So,
Double crown most of the Power 5.
but yes.
I mean,
anyways.
yeah, you can't go wrong with that magic.
Shenhe, love Shenhe. Got her on a first rerun. Skins goaded. 160
Ooh.
ER, 3,000
Oh
attack.
my goodness.
If I had her weapon,
And
even
yeah,
better.
yeah, exactly. I think that's a very good. I guess you could say like free to play looking Shenna. Like that's the way you do it.
Right.
The 51 over 158. You've got. Okay, actually, yeah. Her set C1.
Actually, where is Vorkai? Here we go. Just do this really quick.
Ooh, double crit. Yeah. 188.
Yep.
Just a solid. Just like
And
that's how you do it.
please, if you guys do have animal DPS characters, try to get a C6 Farzan. But okay, I do want to talk about this really quickly though. Just because you have, I want to squash all the rumors. Okay, you do not need a C6
Oh, yeah,
Farzan
please
if you have
do.
an Animo DPS character. It is annoying when everybody is like bench Farzan until C6. Okay, the only thing that you're getting out of this C6 is an extra 40% increased crit damage for Animo damage. And while that's great, in making someone like Xiao go for an extra, basically going from an 84 over 210 basically to an 84 over 250. Okay, yes, that's great. It's making him a 1 for 3. It looks amazing with 80 crit rate like that. Absolutely insane. Yes, good, great, amazing, perfect. The issue, okay, looking at her talent, that's all that does. Because if you look at her talent, though, you still get the animal resistance decrease and the animal damage bonus. Now, this animal damage bonus is better with more constellations, but that's not even the C6. So, you still get an animal damage bonus and an animal resistance decrease. I just think personally, this is just such a good set. Like, this is just, and this is also from the C5. So, it's like, personally, I think you can still use her at C0. Like, it does not matter about these other constellations. She's still extremely useful at C0 for any of your animo DPS characters.
Totally. Yeah.
Oh,
Well said.
hold up. Let's make sure that I'm not killed by anyone. Okay, as much as I make fun of her, okay.
Created another universe.
She gets disgusting rust, which I think I switched off of you, technically. So I think I threw on Yoimiya for this specific build, but I think this is what my Fischl is normally at, because I use Fischl more often than I use the Yoimiya, so. But
Which
she does,
is fair.
she gets,
You have Arlecchino, so.
yeah. She gets use, okay? I swear, okay? The character does get use. Contrary to unpopular belief on my opinions about Fischl, she does get use, and I do like her. She is fun to use. I said it. There we go. Anyways,
You're like, I can't believe I did that. What have I done? That's like what you sound like. It's hilarious.
it's a shame on me for even liking Fischl. No, I'm kidding. But all right. Well, I guess if anything now, Rift, if you want to go ahead and show your.
Okay.
If you want to go ahead and show your thing, and we can go through your account, and I'll just stream basically the Discord.
Or, well, yeah, okay.
Did you have another plan and idea?
I'm not. We can see how it looks through the Discord.
I was about to say, because there's no other way to do it.
Yeah.
Unless I literally logged into your account, which we're probably not going to do, so.
Just give me a second. There
Yep.
we go.
Is it same for Sara? Yes, it's the same thing for Kujo Sara. I would say the same thing. I think Kujo Sara,
It's
you
not
need...
accented.
Yeah.
I'll give it that, but she's still worth to use with Raiden at C0.
Yeah.
It's very viable.
For me, I waited until C6 for Kujo Sara to use her with Raiden, just because I had like Yai Miko and I really liked that team. But as soon as you get to C6, Kujo Sara, it's a little bit more, like Riff said, it's a little bit more prominent than the Farazan. Farazan's just a really, just I think just better at C0. Just the C6 for Kujo Sara is way better. The base on Kujo Sara is just better. I mean, the base on Farazan at C0 is better than what you would get in Kujo Sara at C0. But you could still use her. Very good character to build. Okay.
I mean, Sara gives a lot of attack. I think people sometimes sleep on it or just forget. It's just like having a second Bennett in your team. Not as good as Bennett, but it's still like a lot of attack increase. So it can be worth. I've even used Kujo Sara in like some aggravate teams. Like for catching or just even other electro damage dealers. And she's pretty comfortable.
Right. Alright, let's see here. Should I do a display capture? Because I don't want to do a window capture. Trying to think here. Would display capture even work? Hold up. C0 can be used at R8.
Yeah, I was trying to read that and interpret.
Can be used rate. Sorry, I'm trying to read what that means.
Sorry, my low IQ just can't compute, you know?
Basically, I mean, we play gacha games, so our IQ isn't high anyways. Okay, and we're just gonna have to do this.
Don't call me out like that.
Don't worry, I'm calling it both out. Okay. Alright, whatever, it's gonna work like this. Alright, we're waiting for you.
We're waiting for...
Oh goodness, this is very, very granular.
Granular. Such a high and lofty word for a Genshin player.
Fair enough. 20 primos, wow.
Oh, you know, I didn't know that. I guess, just not culturally aware. R8 means right.
Oh.
Of course, I read that as, like, just rate, though. Hold on, sorry.
Alright.
Okay, where do we want to start? Like,
Top of your account. Alright. Oh my goodness,
I did put...
your Wi-Fi is laggy. Holy cow. Alright, there we go. Alright, we're good. Go slow.
Alright. I'll do my best.
No. We're gonna start. Go back to your characters, because I don't think we can view your character. Yeah. Go back to your characters. All right.
Do you want to just go from left to right in no particular order? Okay.
I'll click. Yeah. I'll tell you who to go to, I guess. So 2200 attack. I think that's similar to what mine was. A little bit higher attack. What's your crit look like? 64 over 205. Yeah, exactly like he was saying earlier. I think I have a higher crit damage, but he actually has a little bit of better of a crit ratio. And honestly, with Wanderer, I like that better. Especially if he does pick up Cryo, he's at like an 84 over 200, which is extremely good. So a nice 1 for 3 with some good crit. Got his weapon, which I believe you got recently. Very nice. 4-piece of his weapon. Very nice. Triple eights. Very nice. Pretty good. Farazan, I believe you also have her 253 ER. Similar. Great. Good amount of crit rate because you've got Fav Bow. 4-piece tenacity because of the C6 that you have. Very good. 4-piece tenacity should be used in that way. That is a 668, I believe, which is pretty good, especially with the amount of characters you build. Yelan, one of his best characters, 36,000 HP. 86 EM is pretty nice for any vaporize that she can hit. 66 over 222. Holy cow. Very nice, especially just a very offensive Yelan. 170 ER. Very good, almost, around that 160 to 180 threshold that she likes to be at. Obviously her weapon, Aqua Simulacra, which I know was a pain in the butt to get. Got the 4-piece emblem, C0, 9910. Obviously you're going to crown anything, crown that burst. I believe you crowned your normal attack to do some really cool, to test out just what you could possibly get for some...
Yeah, I only leveled the normal because I actually do use her charged attack, the breakthrough barb. It's actually a decent amount of damage if you look at it. It's almost 20% of her max HP, which is only about half the skill damage.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So I do use it sometimes. So
it's very nice to get, especially
and Yelan was my first limited 5, so at that point in the game I was like, there's nothing else to level right now, so I was just going into her a lot.
There you go.
We don't need to look at Bennett. Bennett's like all Bennett's.
Zhongli, another very early 5-star for you. Grabbed him for your Hu Tao. 46,000 HP, going very tanky. Still 1600 attack though for some good personal damage. 60 over 170, 112 ER. Yeah, I mean just a solid nice build right here. Staff of Homa going for a little bit of that elemental burst damage. 4-piece tenacity, perfect sets. C0, 110-8, exactly how you want to build them. Very supporty, but also a little bit of damage. Pretty good. Shan Yun, 2254 attack, very nice, especially for that. 46 crit rate, nice. 210 ER, biggest part of her kit, getting a lot of ER and a lot of attack. Fav Codex for the ER, very nice. 4-piece Viridescent, and then 668, pretty good. Nice build. Just like a solid, very good build.
Most Kazuha's.
Yep, most Kazuha's, but he's got his weapon, so 140 ER, yeah. But then that's the thing you run a little bit, is losing a little bit of that ER, but
but I do love this. This is quite nice, and you can feel the difference in a lot of the teams.
Yeah,
it does help a lot of the other characters.
Pretty good. Sino, 340 EM, 1260 attack. Pretty good, but that crit, though, is going to be 66 over 220 with 120 ER, which is an Electro character, and how often he hits, you should be fine anyways. So, solid crit ratio. Obviously has his personal weapon, good amount of base attack, good high crit, very, very good, though. 4-piece Thundering Fury, which is arguably his best set over the other sets that you could use. I believe he's at C0 as well.
Yeah, most people do Gilded. I do Thundering so I can get more skill uses in a rotation.
I was about to say, personally, I like the 4-piece Thundering more than Gilded, but I know people will use that. Yes, another thing about Sino, you do not have to level into his normal attack. Similar to Raiden, the damage is based off of your burst damage, not your normal attacks. Raiden, about that, 1675, 145 EM. The EM's not necessary, but it's kind of okay to have. 50 over 130, pretty good, just hitting that 50 threshold. 275 ER, which is very, very good. It's a little higher than normal, especially once you have her weapon, giving you that 30. You're hitting over that 300% threshold, but it's still extremely good because of the 4-piece emblem that you get. C0, though, with the weapon and 4-piece emblem is very good. 6, 9, 10. I think they're the exact same way that I've built her. So, catching one of the earliest characters that you had, one of your best DPS characters.
I was so happy.
Back in the day.
I was so happy to get her. I wanted her so bad.
And now with Nahida and everything, actually pulled her back into the meta. She was kind of a meh character back in the day, but now that Nahida's out, actually made her useful. 57 over 214, solid build, good amount of crit rate, good amount of crit, obviously very good amount of crit damage. You could argue for more crit rate, but honestly, with the amount of time she hits, it's okay. 4-piece Thundering Fury, very good set. C4, almost at that C6. Hopefully you can get those soon. 888, 888 with the +3 in the C3. So very, very good, very nice build, especially because of this character, Nahida. So 886 EM while still having about 1600 attack. So she has damage. She's actually if you actually look at Nahida, looking at her skill attributes and everything, she's actually very, very good damage character. So having everything there is pretty nice. 698, very good there. She does damage.
You get the crit rate from having the EM.
Yeah, and honestly,
crit rate.
It's an 800 maximum that you can get there. So he's getting the 24% crit rate, which still makes that useful for like a 60. It's still a 1 for 2. But honestly, it's not even that. Like just having the consistent amount of just a good amount of EM and good amount of attack for that character is just very, very good. Sometimes you don't even have to go into crit, but obviously Rift is very lucky to get a very nice ratio and probably worked hard for it. 1,000 Floating Dreams, great weapon. 4-piece Deepwood, obviously. C0, 698, as we saw. Very, very good build on Nahida. Tainari, another standard character that you've built pretty well, and you like to use a lot, I know. 465 EM, about 1,300 attack. 53 over 180. Like him, 140 ER, by the way. Also, another great thing about Tainari as well, just like Nahida and Alhaitham, characters who double scale into attack and EM. Aqua Simulacra for a little bit more personal damage, just basically a huge stat stick, so very, very good weapon. 4-piece Wanderer's Troop, if you've been playing the game for a while and doing a lot of bosses, hopefully you have a good 4-piece on that set. C3 on Tainari, also extremely good to have. Getting the extra help on his burst, and there you go, 868 with the +3 from the C3. Very good build, a lot of extra damage you can get for some extra help. Good quick swap team with Raiden, actually. Sijuan, actually, a character you got pretty recently. That EM's just nice to see, just flat 100.
Yeah,
nice.
It's one of those satisfying 100s, yeah.
46,000 HP, almost 47k, very, very good build. Weapon, yes, 112 ER, yep, and a nice crit ratio, actually, 50 over 140, okay, pretty good. Going for some nice damage you probably get in a burst with her personal weapon. So I know that you actually got her weapon first when going for Farina's weapon, and then went for her right afterwards and got lucky with an early, so clap all around for that one. 4-piece Song of Days Past, arguably her best set in my personal opinion. Obviously, even if you're going a little bit more damage, you have your weapon, I think 4-piece Song of Days Past still good. C0, 188, very good build, solid, nice damage, nice solid character. All right, Farina, 33k HP, very good. Let's look at that ER, 160. You're right in that 160 to 180 threshold for her. 60 over 172, solid crit. Going for that nice 1 for 3. Hitting that 60 is very, very nice. Going for a Wolfang, another actually really good weapon. Like Deathmatch and other Battle Pass weapons are, you're focusing on making sure you have a really, really good, like, Yeah, and like you said, the weapon, it looks really nice on her, but this is probably one of her best 4-star weapons. In my personal opinion, probably her best, actually. 188 on her skills, C0. Are you thinking about going for constellations on her anytime soon?
I probably won't ever, actually. I
Okay,
just don't feel the need.
fair
Like,
enough.
she's so good at C0, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that is very true. She's a very good character, C0.
Yeah.
Neuvillette, 32k HP, very nice. A little bit of EM, 84, a little splash of EM in there is never a problem. 35 over 292, and that is 141 ER is pretty good between that 140 to 160. And you're also, never mind the 36 crit rate that you get from the weapon, from the artifact set. Tome of the Eternal Flow, his personal weapon. We already talked about how that's such a big damage boost. 4-piece Marechaussee, so he's going from a 40 over whatever he was, 290 or whatever, to like a 76, so very good. C0, and that's not really a problem if you've got some really good solid shield characters like he has, Zhongli, Beidou, other characters like that. 866, that's very good. Obviously you want to focus. The skill and the burst don't need to be leveled into beyond 6 because it's just personal damage at that point. If you look at the skill attributes, it's just the actual damage that you're increasing. You're not increasing your source water droplets or the duration you can get them quicker. So there's no point in really doing those unless you're like me and you just want more personal damage. The charge attack is really the only thing you have to worry about. Nilou, goated character, 71,000 HP, and that's probably because of the two-piece HP set that he has in his artifacts, but still a very, very good character. Also 140 EM, a very good balanced EM with such a high amount of HP, as well as the HP he gets from the weapon as well.
Nothing to look at here.
And you don't have to worry about crit, because the crit is useless for Nilou, considering blooms don't crit unless you have a C2 Nahida, which still, those crit that you have does not add on to the 20 over 100 that you get from the Nahida. Obviously, like I said, her weapon, getting a lot of HP. Two-piece, you can see how he's maximizing as much HP as possible on her. Which I believe most people do, actually, than going her personal set.
A lot of people like to do the double. You don't even see 4-piece flower on here, which is kind of odd to me.
So stupid, in my personal opinion. 4-piece flower, I think, is definitely the way to go. But I know that this is a little bit more comfortable, and especially, like you said, we were talking about before, better for on my Eula. Like, if you have better substats,
Also,
better
I
main
have,
stats.
And I don't know if you noticed. Did you notice that? I don't think I told you I even had it.
What?
Nilou's skin.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then 688. Now, pretty good on the skill and the burst as well.
This was very recent that I did this.
Yeah, you actually don't have to level into anything.
1-1.
Technically.
I had him 1-1-1 like even just a few days ago, but because I recently pulled her weapon since that was on banner, I decided to actually do a little bit. I was like, because why not?
Well, that's the thing, especially if you're going to use her
bit.
on field. That's the biggest thing.
So I started doing that a little bit.
A lot of people were saying that she wasn't good on field and just to use Nahida, which I think most people did. But there were a small part of the community that was like, nah, bro, I'm using her on field and I like her way better. She has a way higher HP.
And now it's like, I got the skin. I actually want to see the character now. So I will use on field.
Exactly. So I think a lot of people are pretty happy with that. 2100, 2200 attack on your Ayato. Almost 100 EM, solid. You want to use that. 74 over 200, very, very good. Love to see that. Very, very good, honestly, build right there. And his weapon just goes to show you right there why that piece is so good. 4-piece echoes. Honestly, considering you don't even have Xiao, I applaud you for that one. Because building echoes without going for Vermilion's insane, just like I did. 888 on his talents here, pretty good. Hu Tao, one of your best characters, your first DPS character, limited that you built. 38k HP, pretty good. Still 1400 attack at the same time without her being on field. No pyro increase, no weapon increase. Very, very good. 54 EM as well. 66 over 200. Another just solid build as well that you can see from Hu Tao here. Her weapon, R2, which I know you lost to Aqua Simulacra. There we go, I can say it. C1, 4-piece Crimson, pretty good. Obviously, the C1 is like one of the best C1s in the game. Triple 10 as well, triple crowned. Solid, just one of the best characters that you got. All right, so D-Luke is actually built on his account compared to mine, but he went for a little bit of a different route. He went for a
kind of a hybrid
team. A little bit more.
So because of Shan Yun, I have reverted a little bit back to a more traditional build, so
Okay.
he's a more normal attack. It's not ridiculous over 2,000 or anything, but still keeping some EM too. But I wanted him to actually like crit a little bit,
Yep.
so it feels nice. I can do like a hybrid. It's still pretty comfortable.
Solid just crit ratio you got there as well in the EM.
Yeah.
Still a solid build, especially the vaporizers you could probably hit off of the Farina builds. But I mean, if you
So
could,
for those of the people that were wanting to know, this is a good opportunity to actually give you a real for the Sethos thing.
yes, okay, we're gonna talk about this because it happened in our Discord. If you, all right, we're gonna give a quick shame on Rift here, all right. If you ever just show a screenshot of just her EM or of just like the character off of EM, shame. No, I'm kidding. Honestly, it doesn't matter. I don't think it really matters. I think like obviously if you want to, like that's fine. Just realize like for instance if someone's showing a damage showcase, just know that like if they're showing a damage showcase, it's
What they're not showing you is all the buffs.
they're not showing right, they're not showing you like the right side of the screen where they've eaten 75
this is
pounds
the
of
real
food.
Sethos though.
Right, and this is without him being on field, no dendro increase, no whatever. It's just pure him by himself. So, but it is nice to know that with Nahida and some extra external buffs, you can get him to almost 1,000 EM, which is really what he cares about. So, very solid character, very good build, very good damage, a solid, just like a good 4-star build. 4-piece Wanderer's Troop, C1, got some good talents.
Just pretty well built is all. Someone asks, what's the problem with Echo Set and Ping? Please explain this.
Okay, the issue isn't getting echoes. There's no issue going for echoes. The reason I said that is because the other set on the domain with echoes of an offering is Vermilion Hereafter, which the 2-piece could be used on other characters because it's another 2-piece attack set, which could be good. Like you can use that on so many different characters. As you saw with my official, going double attack is very, very good. And it can be used on, like I said, so many other characters. But the idea of just grinding that set for only one of the sets is really like kind of crazy because as you see on Rift's account, he doesn't have Xiao. And so Vermilion Hereafter, the 4-piece, is only good for Xiao. So it takes a certain love for a character or a certain just like desire to just want to make the character good to go for their set, even if the other, set on the domain is just bad or just not useful for you. Vermilion Hereafter is not bad, but if you don't have Xiao, it loses a lot of its value. So it's the same thing, for instance, like Arlecchino's domain. There you go, the Bond of Life set, right? If you're not, the other set is Unfinished Reverie. So if you're like me and you really want Arlecchino to be super, super good, even though I had a top like 1% build on with a Gladiator set for her as a character, I had a top 1% build. I still threw, I think, like 20 to 25 Fragile Resins into that domain and grinded for about a week to make her absolutely insanely goated because I just wanted to make sure that she was on her set and extremely good. So technically you don't have to do this. And I know Rift, you actually ran a 4-piece Glad as well on your Ayato until you just were like, you know what?
Too.
I just want to make him good. I just want to make him useful with his personal set. It looks good on him. Like that teal looks solid. Like I also, by the way, can I just say that teal just looks cool with the little bits of white and yellow.
It does.
So,
but to answer the whole ping thing and like why people say, well, if you have a higher ping, don't use echoes. Here's a little bit as to why. The 4-piece is giving you a lot of normal attack damage, and part of that is that the effect it gets dispelled 0.05 seconds. So it's only 500ths of a second after a normal attack deals damage. So because it's such a very minuscule timer right here, if you do have a higher ping, it will start to mess with that because the lag can actually be longer than 500ths of a second, and you actually start to miss an entire stack of chance for the extra normal attack damage. That's why people like will say if you have a higher ping, I forget the threshold of that ping. If it's higher than a certain number, it's usually better to just use Glad. Probably, yeah.
If you have consistently over 100.
I'm not explaining it very well, but it's because it has such a very small timer within its how it works. So if the ping is anything higher than 100, it just starts to mess with that.
Dear goodness, we just heard you sound like a transformer for about 2 seconds.
Oh yeah, and that's a perfect example of what.
Yeah.
When you have high ping, You don't want the effect getting messed up with a high ping, because it would mess with it if the durations here. So,
Exactly.
but because I typically almost all the time when I play, I'm sitting around anywhere between a 30 and 50 ping, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't. The only reason I have them on Glad for so long is because, like Vixen was saying earlier, I actually build very horizontal investment, so I just wanted to move on to the next characters and stuff.
Yeah,
Then I came
actually,
back to hyper build.
just showing that really quickly. Could you click on the bottom left right there? Yep. So as you saw in my characters, I stopped about actually 3/4 of the way. I think I've built most of the characters, but as you can see here, all these stars that he has on the characters are them being fully built. Like they're done. Like he's not trying to build them anymore.
Yeah, like if
Now they're not
we go
min-maxed,
all the way down. They're just
but
not min-maxed like you're saying, but they're fully built
right.
characters.
And they've got good sets. They're probably they're, triple eights or whatever, or they're eights on what they actually need to have. They're 80 out of 90 or 80 out of 80, whatever they need to be at, and they have the correct, builds on fully leveled artifacts, leveled weapons. Even if it's not 90, it's still 80 out of 80. You can see there. So just solid builds on them. So they're actually useful, and especially like I was talking about before, the Imaginarium Theater has allowed players like this, for instance, Rift, a one-up over characters or players like me, whereas I've only built 3/4 of my player base or character base. Rift has built all of them. So because of the ease of you using so many different characters and the buffs that you can get with the different characters, it's actually more useful for what we call horizontally invested accounts like Rift's, for instance, on how many characters he's built, compared to vertically invested accounts like my own, who went more into constellations on other characters and hyper building, as you saw, versus building some of these other characters at the bottom of my account list or player list.
Yeah, it's how I have so much fun with the game. I just like to build a new one. So like I've got from Kaya to the right that still needs to be built. So we're getting there. We're getting there.
Yeah, see, somebody said, yeah, over 100 ping or higher, that starts to mess up the damage. My Ayato is Glad, top 8. Top 8%. Nice.
Must feel like I'm working on Shinyan right now.
Which is why I went for harder
asking
depth
about
on mine. I have one question. Okay, so for some odd reason, you guys can't even see anything anymore.
We're not done yet,
stream.
but
yeah. All right. Well, I guess we can go over quickly to some other people's or other characters or whatever. Other people's
yeah.
We're lagging out a little bit on your end, so like we can't even see your screen. So I'm gonna.
That's okay. Just you can turn it off.
Yeah, we're gonna dip out. So, but yeah, you have a
first
question,
person,
Kakashi,
I believe,
which that sounds so interesting to see because it's Kakashi, but I believe that's a Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul. Kaneki, sorry, said that wrong. The profile picture. So I just had like a double take. But yes, if you have a question, go ahead.
I believe the first person, as far as the account reviews, is going to be, isn't it Jelly?
I believe so. Fennec
Yes.
C6, Shivers C6, and Razor on Attack Goblet. Is this possible to Razor do dual eliminate damage? I think elemental damage? No. Just because Razor's on... so Razor... actually, since I'm in the game, let's just go look at Razor's. If you look at his... Well, actually, possibly. Because here's the thing, right? If you look at his burst, right? Strikes alongside Razor's normal attacks deal electro damage. So the C6 Shivers will allow the... Yeah, like you're saying, the C6 Shivers are allowing the extra damage. So technically, you can do 2 types of damage with one character. Yes. Is it probably going to be goated to do? Probably not. But yes, technically it can be done because she's giving the buff to both the pyro damage and electro damage bonus. So she's helping both. I think that's what you're saying, to try to
get... Yeah, that's actually something I've done, and it's pretty comfortable as far as damage and stuff. It does work pretty much as expected. The only drawback is the overload reaction itself, and you're throwing enemies around if they're not heavy. And Razor does not like that as a Claymore
His chase
kind of
down
heavy
is not
skill
that
unit.
great.
He doesn't. Yeah, he's not chasing down well at all. So I would only try that on elite or higher enemies where they can't actually get thrown.
Right. Whereas someone like Arlecchino or Raiden, even Raiden sometimes with an overload team can have a little bit of an issue because her chase down isn't as great from what I've
Yeah,
seen
and
as
you want to
Arlecchino's.
maximize that burst uptime
Right,
after the
exactly.
initial hit. Whereas Arlecchino kind of like she kind of clings in. It's like she grabs that scythe, she hooks him in. She feels really
Exactly.
comfortable in an overload.
Yeah. So technically, yes, you are correct. You can, with this, do double elemental damage by going attack goblet and not choosing either one. You'll probably get more pyro damage bonus because of the C6 Bennett, I believe, giving you more pyro damage bonus on top of what Chevers is giving, because Chevers also gives electro and pyro damage bonus. So you'll have probably a more pyro damage bonus. Your normal attacks will be getting technically a higher buff, quote unquote, but your burst damage is obviously still a higher multiplier. Gotta run. Thanks, Rift and Vixen. No
We'll
problem.
see you around, Magic
Thank
Lover.
you for
In Discord.
jumping in while you could. All right. Well, let's go ahead and look at other people's accounts really quick. Well, not really quickly, but to an extent. You can, but he is very slow. Yeah, exactly. His chase down just isn't that as good as it probably could be. But all right, let's turn off Genshin and let's turn on Anka. Bam. Magic. All right. So I guess in terms of... Okay, so if you want... I gotta think here. Jelly, if you are here, let us know. Because I don't believe you are here, Jelly. And it's fine if you aren't. We can do it either another day or whatnot. But yeah, that's what we'll work with right now. We're gonna probably start with. I mean, we can probably look at your account review. We'll just look at your characters you have. So could you actually tell me that that UID, Rift, real quick?
UID for Jelly.
Yes.
It is 626
Experiment
8
626. Yep. Sorry, what?
800. So 626 800
Yep.
616. 626 800 616.
If you know that reference, let me know in the Discord. I mean, in YouTube or in the comments or chat. There we go. Do you know what that's from, Rift?
I don't even know if I heard you. What?
Experiment 626.
I don't know that I do.
Oh, wow, that's tough. I mean, I think it's pretty... I'm pretty sure you
have-
watched it. You've definitely watched it. I just don't
I
think you
probably
remember
have
the...
because I have a thought, but I don't want to be wrong.
What do you think? What do you think it is?
I don't know because if it's not it, that's just a really embarrassing answer.
What do you mean? Okay, so you don't know what it is. What are you talking about?
Just
It's from Stitch. It's Stitch.
okay, then I didn't know. Okay, my answer was wrong, and I'm glad I didn't say it.
Okay. My luck is on par with Bennett. Don't say that, Jelly. By the way, Jelly is actually a player who believe... No, wait. Oh, that's Aura. What am I talking about? Well, Jelly actually has been someone we've been trying to get into our account reviews for a little bit, so we'll go ahead and look at their thing for right now. If they want to come back later and figure out stuff...
Jelly's pretty cool. I've been in some Discord calls.
If she
We do
wants to
some
come over...
lounge and stuff,
Yeah.
hangouts.
If I believe she, if I'm right with that, I think she wants to. I think at some point we'll do an actual in-depth account review if she's actually here. Obviously, because if she's not in the chat, I can't actually get whatever it's called. See, excuse you, just said Lilo and Stitch. See, boom. All right. Anyways, that I don't know if you just heard that and just said it now, or if it's probably the stream being laggy. But yes, excuse you, you are correct if you said that on time. But yeah, that is the person in our Discord who's been here for a while. So hopefully your luck will turn around and not be like Bennett. But I do like how he is your profile picture. That is kind of cool, or avatar.
Bennett main. She's a Bennett main. She'll tell you that.
And there you go. So, and honestly, from what I can see, going skyward, high ER, good amount of base attack, 250 ER, 35 over 130, C5. I wonder, so did she hold back on the C6? Does she still have a con, or is she just like, no?
I can't remember. I think I can't remember.
Okay.
But
Because she leveled to
I don't even know
normal,
if she
so I'm
had it.
interested. I'm
Because I think
interested.
I remember talking to like bringing it up to her like, okay, if you're Bennett main, did you hold off on C6 or do you just not have it? And I think she just doesn't have it.
Okay. Because
Because she
she's
knows
leveled
like,
into
yeah,
the
it's more pyro
normal,
damage.
which
But
would
I
make
also
sense
think
if
she
she
doesn't want
did.
to ruin other teams.
Possibly. Which I think the only ones you would ruin would be Child and or Tartaglia and Ayaka and Eula, if I'm correct. Wait, no. Does that no, that doesn't mess with Child.
Catching's
What am I
one.
catching? That's who it was, not Child. What am I talking about? Anyways, yeah, I mean very good looking Bennett here.
It does mess up Chongyun if you're trying to do like a melt
Who?
Chongyun. And you Chongyun.
Who?
Okay, all right.
Alright, just my daily making fun of 4 stars. Anyways, I'm Raiden Arlecchino. Kakashi, you're a man after my own heart. Or Kakashi after my own heart. Anyways,
He's that strong gun there, man. Stared right into
just
your
don't
soul.
get your just don't get your heart taken out. All right. So, Thundering Pulse on Ganyu. I like this actually because okay,
Yes.
I have beef with Amos's bow. It's not even her best weapon. That's why I don't like Amos's bow. It's not even her best weapon. And so people who are like, "Oh yeah, Amos's bow." It's not. I don't like it. Just go for crit damage weapons. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
Like
that's a hot
I
take.
think we even brought that up in the last Tipple and Not Tipple when we talked about Yelan's weapon. We kind of touched on that a little bit. Like, hey, you could use this on Ganyu, and I think I brought it up. It's like, yeah, if you don't have Amos bow, it's honestly okay because a lot of people tell you Aqua is actually kind of better just because it's a stat stick, and
Mhm.
much like it, Thundering Pulse is also a stat stick, but with also really good ability.
I mean, heck, I have an Amos's bow, but I put it on a 4 star because of the high base attack for
Yeah.
I think it's on Kujo Sara for the high base attack for the buff that she gives. But
hmm I love how we have a person here who
is
just
it
says,
Jeff
"Ah,
main?
yes, this is a Jeff main here."
I could you explain that really quick? Maybe we have to go contact Jeff. Is he being like locked in your basement and like forcefully playing Genshin for you, or I need to I have some questions and I think I need them answered, or maybe I don't want them answered. I don't know. I'm a
Yeah,
little bit
careful what you
scared.
ask for.
Yeah, that's true. All right, well, 2K attack, very nice actually for only a level 80 Thundering Pulse, and a 4 piece on this set here. Very good. Honestly, also an offset Sands, nice.
Yeah,
Good
I
amount of
like the
crit we're
melt build.
seeing.
The melt build's very, it's
Yeah,
satisfying. Plus, because also I think I'm
look at the
impressed by it
high
because it's Wanderer's troop.
look at the high amount of crit with
Right.
because this is double crit. Well, sorry. So like if you get double cryo in the team, which you're probably doing, you're
hmm
getting 15% more crit rate, which puts you at a 60 over 205. And that's just like
Yeah.
insane with 2K
And
attack.
with having that much EM, that I remember when I
Exactly.
looked at her
hmm
Ganyu, I was very impressed.
Very solid build. 788 on the Albedo. So if you're possibly looking to get some Geo characters in the future, maybe Zylonen, because Zylonen looks like she can be like a sub DPS character or a DPS character. So not gonna lie, looking really good. 4 piece Husk, offset on the sands again. You're getting really lucky on these goblets. Very nice. Good amount of attack, good amount of defense, kind of balancing those two out because he does damage based on his skill and burst, like kind of mixed between attack and defense on either or. Wolf Fang is very good, getting some extra skill and burst damage. 60 over 164, 160 ER. Geo damage bonus is high. Yeah, well built. Ah,
It's
yes.
nice to see a character like Albedo in general. You don't see them very often.
Yes. Also,
Like
because,
when we see Cleese and stuff, like that's always exciting.
yep. This is just another. I have his weapon, and it goes on no one. Summit Shaper is on no one on my account. R1C2 Raiden Shogun, 1600 attack, 1661 attack. By the way, I think it's actually higher than both of our Raidens. Very good attack though. 58 over 108. Very good. You want a higher crit rate, the more than you want a busted crit damage. 270 ER with the weapon. Very nice. The C2, 5, 6, 7. I think you probably actually got her pretty recently because her friendship level's pretty low comparatively, and you only have her 80 out of 80 compared to the other 90 characters. So you're probably, this is like a recently built character, in my personal opinion, which, because I'm pretty sure you're going to try to level up the burst more. This is a very, very good build for her being like, pretty recent on your account. Very nice.
Yeah, it is a solid build.
Ooh, interesting. What are you thinking about this primordial build on this Hu Tao?
I liked it. Obviously, and I don't know how true it is to this day, but I think, for a long time, Primordial was her second best option. Just because the sheer amount of attack that it does give. So, I saw that and was like, okay, yeah, good decision making here. And I don't even know if they have Xiao, so what else do you do with it, right?
Right.
And they don't have staff, so it's just how it happened, especially if you don't like spending the game. Sometimes people look at me like, why are you running this on this character without thinking, well, maybe they just didn't have this. This is just kind of how it fell. Well, they got the character 8 months ago, but got the weapon 2 months ago, and it just kind of works out this way.
Mm-hmm.
So then I think this is one of those cases. It's a pretty decent Hu-Tao. You got 26,000 HP. The crits there, very. It's a very free to play, friendly build.
It's
When I look at it,
also,
it's like you also went ER on the sands.
yep.
So
So
it's like, well, if you
consistent
just want to
high
burst,
burst.
go for it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's the other thing, right? Like if you look at, I mean, even this weapon, I mean, yeah, but it's a standard weapon. So they probably lost 50-50 or something and got
Hmm.
this weapon. So good on them for actually, working around that. So
Right.
Mona on Widsith, that's very, very good. Probably one of her best. A
Hmm.
good build here. I mean, even with I mean, look at that. I mean, that's what, missing about 20 something percent or something like that on around 20% ER, and you're still at a 215. 50 over 114. Good, just solid. Going for that almost R5 Widsith, 5, 6, 9. Go for some personal damage, but also the Omen stacks and whatever that you can get. Some high Hydro damage bonus. No set buff yet. And I say yet. Hopefully you can get a circlet or a goblet soon, which with your luck on your goblets, you might as well, looking at some of the characters you have. But
Every account is beautiful in their own way, but where are those who share the memories? I love it.
all right. All right, let's look at
By the
Farina.
way, for those who want an account review potentially, if you join our Discord, there's an account review channel. You can throw your UID in, and that's how we'll do it. Because if you throw it in the chat, we're not gonna look at it. I'll just be honest.
Looking now at Farina, also looks like a recent character, lower friendship level, Harbinger of Dawn. Actually, a pretty good weapon to go for on this because of the high crit damage
Yes.
and the three
Yeah.
star weapon, by the way. And honest, with this specific weapon, you're probably not getting the extra crit rate from the passive, but you can see her crit rate's already pretty high, so it's like it's really not that worth it. And also, recently built character trying to go for that 4-piece on the golden troop. I'm wondering if you got Mona pretty recently as well. But 5'8", 5'7", 8, pretty good, solid build. Got some EM, some good amount of HP, some crit rate, some crit damage. Like just a very solid build. The ER is not terrible. So it's a very good looking build. Obviously you probably want to switch out that Sands, but like I said, this person's probably like trying to. You're at the point of just trying to build
They
the
could, yeah, they
character
could
up.
also have been switching around artifacts, like especially with the ER stance on the Hu-Tao. You never know.
Yep, that's
They're
true.
working around builds because I mean we saw that with your Wanderer, the level 1 apprentice notes.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So you never know.
Yeah. That's why it's always that's why almost it's very difficult whenever people are like, I want to do an account review, but I just want you to look at my main characters. And then something's messed up here, and then they're like, oh, well, wait, this and this and this happens. Whereas if we get like to actually look at your account like we did with mine and Rifts, you can actually start to see, okay, this is supposed to be here, this is supposed to be here if you're moving stuff around. So,
Hmm.
yeah. All right. Next.
Kakashi, there should be a Discord link in the description. If there's not, just go over to our main channel page and we have it in the links there.
Thanks, Interact Brotherhood. This feels like
Oh man.
I know that's a Assassin's Creed game.
Hello everyone, welcome to Gotcha Interact. That's
The Gotcha Interact Brotherhood. Is that what our chat's going to be named? The Brotherhood? Yeah, we'll come up with that later.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Well,
the other thing though, all right, could you give me the next UID and who are we looking at? I
all
believe
right.
it's
The next one is Ayu.
yes.
AYU. Ayu or AU.
Yes. So what is
AU,
their
what you doing? Okay, all right.
UID? All right, no.
Their their UID is 610-090-779. 610-090-779.
690?
610-090-779.
Oh, I was right. All right, hold up. We're about to find out if I was right. Hold up. 610-609-779.
610-090-779.
I'm stupid. There we go.
Yeah, I am too.
Found an AR-22 world level 1 character, and I was like,
Yeah, so they said in
interesting.
this when they submitted their account for a review, they said been playing since 1.0 but left for a long time. I've always wanted to have an easier time on Abyss 12 and to get some pull recommendations, not only for Abyss but for the Imaginarium Theater too.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember they said they wanted a little bit more in depth on the account, but they weren't going to be able to give me the account info, which is fine. Like, we don't want you, if you're not comfortable giving us your account info, we totally understand. We are a 5,000 subscriber like YouTube channel. Like, I totally understand. Even the people who are like hundreds of thousands, I still wouldn't want to give my account info. I'm just protective like that. So don't feel bad if you don't. It's just a question we ask. And the only reason I ask is because it, once again, will allow us to see all of your characters built, so that we can kind of give you better recommendations. But all we can work off, obviously, are these 8 characters. So that's what our pull recommendations will be. Let me actually go ahead and tell him that we are streaming.
I've got every 30 seconds in my game, Zhongli's just osmanthus wine, you know.
Yeah, I got Arlecchino
Funny.
just sitting in a chair talking to me consistently, which is what I hear on a daily basis anyways. No, I'm kidding. There we go. All right, so, okay, let's look at the Hu Tao first. So you got the catch, which is a little interesting, but with the catch, I can kind of see some usefulness there. You're going for maybe burst damage. A little bit of a crit fish, but you got Triple Crown in your Hu Tao. So you probably got Xing Cho somewhere running around with this team. You know, if you want to make your Hu Tao team like goated, you could go for like either Yelan, who's on the banner right now, or you could go for what's it called? Or you already have the Kazuha, you could kind of go for that with a Bennett, and then go for like a shielder, like what's his name? Well, you actually don't want to do you don't want to do Bennett. What am I talking about? You can go for like Kazuha, and then maybe go for Zhongli as a shielder, or Layla even if you have Layla. Build your Layla to make a nice melt team. I don't know. What are your
Yeah,
thoughts on that one?
Layla's pretty slept on as in a just 4 stars in general. Her shield is amazing. You just slap a bunch of HP on Layla, and she can tank a lot.
See, so
You can testify too.
yeah, so IU actually just sent me a DM and said, "Yeah, sorry, I forgot to put the Staff of Homa back on my Hu Tao." So there you go. So we've got a Staff of Homa back. So which means that you've
You can
got,
put a staff on. They've got 100% ER, which means they don't have any ER in substats, which is like mine.
which is
So
better in
that's
my
actually
personal
kind of a
opinion.
good. Yeah, it's good. It's a good sign because you're going more into the stats you actually want, and then your crit damage is going to go up by 66. So you're sitting at like a 280.
Mm-hmm. So a
So
37
yeah,
over 280 with
yeah,
probably a
and a lot
higher
more
base
HP,
attack as
a lot
well.
more HP, a lot more attack. So
Yeah,
keep that in mind.
solid build. All right.
Yeah, very very good. Hu Tao.
Oh, and they said they also had a crit rate hat or circlet on instead of this.
I see. Okay, so that would put you at what
70 over
yeah,
70 over 220 because
that's really really
yeah,
comfortable.
yep, going for a nice
Okay.
1 for 3 with a high crit rate on her. Very nice. That's okay. So yeah, see that just makes a little bit more sense. But yeah, see goaded account right there already. Going for the HP sands, probably a better way to go than the attack percent sands, my personal opinion, especially if you have her weapon. But yeah, there's that. All right, C0R1, lighter foliar incision, Alhaitham. Good amount of EM, good amount of attack, and dice balance between the two. 80 over 202. Very good to have considering, he ascends into Nendro damage bonus, not either crit or EM. So good to see. EM, very nice build here. Got some double crits consistently, even in the circlet as well. So constant double crits helped you out a lot here. Very good. Even some extra EM here and there. It's 23, 35, and 44. Pretty good build on Alhaitham. If you want to make your Alhaitham go to the next level, if you don't have Nahida, I don't really 100% know if you do, but if you don't have Nahida, that might be a character that you want to go after next as well to make your Alhaitham even better. So just keep that in mind as well. So Yelan, if you want to make your Hutao better if you don't have her, and then also Nahida for Alhaitham as well.
At the end of the day, though, that's a really good Alhaitham.
Mm-hmm.
You got just a lot of crit and EM. So it looks really good. And
can anyone say if Madvika is coming in 5.2 or if I pull on Freedom Sworn? I always pull on Freedom Sworn. The reason is Freedom Sworn even... Is Kazuha in the banner right now?
Well, I think it's talking about when Kazuha comes around with either Mualani or Kinich.
Oh, that's right. I was about to say, wait a minute, what? Yeah, I would pull Freedom Sworn. Reason why is I believe people were saying 5.1 is Xylonen, 5.2 is Chasa, and 5.3 is Mavwika. So usually what we see is the Pyro Archon in the X.2 era. But for some odd reason now we're getting the Archon, which... That's a whole another mystery in and of itself. If she's still the Archon, blah, blah, blah,
sends
blah.
a few messages, does it
but
not?
5.3 is the idea.
That's a whole nother topic in and of itself.
Yeah, so people are saying 5.3 for that. Yeah, see, even Tiki even said, I've heard 5.3 for Mavwika. So yeah, it's I believe it's going to be 0.3. So if you feel safe enough to give yourself a solid 2 versions to get pulls ready, then go for it. Go for Freedom Sworn. If you don't feel safe enough having 2 versions to build pity back up, take your time. But yeah. Ayaka on Amanoma Kaguichi, obviously a very good weapon. Probably her best 4-star option. Honestly, I actually like this weapon more than some of the other 4-star options that you can use on her. Really, really like this weapon, especially at R5. High attack, you already go for heavy crit on everything else in her. 10, 6, 10. 71 over 242. Holy cow. I have her weapon and this makes me like... You definitely have a better build than I do. Holy cow. Constant amount of crit damage. Going for a crit damage. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. Ayaka's such a good character. Comparatively to back when she was another character that a lot of people were using, she was really, really good. And then all of a sudden, she just got power crept, not like of other cryo characters, but just straight damage numbers of other characters over time. Like, Raiden hitting 500k. Then you had, now you have Neuvillette and Arlecchino. Arlecchino's hitting 100k on every attack, and you've got Neuvillette hitting like 60, 70ks consistently, multiple times. And he can do that like over and over and over and over and over again. So, but she's still an amazing character to use.
Yeah, I mean, for being a 4-star weapon, I looked at the stats first and thought, wow, this is good Ayaka. And then I saw was not Miss Splitter and was like, oh my goodness, this is even better. Because 2300 attack. You're doing really good.
Yeah, and that's the weapon plus these 15.2% and 9.3% on some of the abilities.
Yeah.
Yeah, even
they were 31 crit rate, a bit low.
Well,
yeah,
it depends. You're getting
you
40
can argue
from Blizz, which is still a 71 over 240. So.
Yeah, they say at least 40 for Ayaka, in my opinion. Which, yeah, because that'll put you at the 80, and it's gonna feel a lot more comfortable.
Yeah, I think honestly getting past the 60 threshold for most DPS characters is the best, but yeah. I understand that.
I'd personally be okay and comfortable with 30% crit rate on a 4-piece, Blizzard Ayaka.
Yes, yeah, for
I'm
sure.
I'm not as stingy, or I don't have as much of a higher standard when it comes to the crit and stuff. And Vixen knows that I don't.
Yeah. Ayaka's still best cryo DPS for sure until she gets picked up by somebody else. She's definitely the best cryo DPS we have. Until she gets, whether Chasa is gonna be, we know she's gonna be a cryo character, but we haven't from the trailer that they showed us, but we have no clue if she's gonna be a support or kind of like another Shenhe, or she's gonna be a DPS character. So I guess we'll see whenever she actually comes out, maybe a sub DPS, but we'll see.
Yeah.
C2 catching with Lion's Roar, another great 4-star weapon, a very just solid weapon. 1089, 71 over 153, some EM, possible in a 4-piece Thundering Fury. So you can possibly go for some straight electro damage, but also going into a, Dendro team wouldn't be terrible either, like an Aggravate.
This
Once again, just
honestly
allows for Nahida to be in the team if you don't have her on your accounts. Two great characters that this can help out.
honestly, just because I'm seeing Lion's Roar, this looks like an overload catching because I have seen that before.
That's also true. I didn't even think
But
about that.
I just don't care for overload catching personally, just because she already doesn't do good with the range. When she does a charged attack, she actually throws herself back.
Hmm. Can we install?
But I have seen it, so.
Can we install a Rosaria instead of Shenhe? You can. For
You've
sure,
seen
because
some stuff
Shenhe is
about
just a
Chaska
great
being
buffer,
Animo.
but other characters are going to be better because, like, for instance, Rosaria is going to give more crit rate and kind of a little bit like personal damage, whereas Shenhe is going to be helping elemental skill and burst damage or normal and charge attack damage, as well as decreasing cryo resistance in her burst while helping a lot more with energy. So Shenhe's a really good 5-star character, but if you slot in Rosaria instead, still an extremely good character just because of the amount of crit rate that she can give, as well as some personal damage. Anyways, yeah, sorry. I've seen some stuff about Chasa being Animo. At least from, I guess.
In the trailer, you can see a cryo vision on her hip.
Yeah.
So it's kind of at this point, there's no question about it.
Yeah, you can see here. So right here, that's if you like, if you like throw your face into the thing, you can see here as well as this.
Yeah, it is kind of hidden, but
it's pretty easy to tell what it is. It's cryo. It does from a distance kind of look animal if you look quickly at it really quick. But then this person,
did they edit it?
Well, no. This was back in this era when we didn't know. This was just her. We thought she was going to be people thought she was going to be an avatar, like an NPC. And then this came out in the trailer, and then we zoomed it in and saw that she's a cryo character. So yeah, originally we thought she was going to be an animal character, but she's going to be a cryo character.
Which is very interesting. I still think it's interesting just because, it's an island, so like now we're getting a polar opposite.
Hopefully,
it's kind of cool.
Maybe off-field character, or maybe an on-field. With Mavuika being an off-field, it will allow for some really good melt teams, possibly even better than what we see in Risley. See, that's the thing. I think Ayaka is the best cryo DPS, but Risley really does put up a good fight, in my personal opinion, especially for a melt team. Mm-hmm. And also, if we get somebody better than Xiangling for off-field Pyro, like, for instance, if the Pyro Archon's really, really just a solid character to have as an off-field Pyro DPS character and buffs the team, it could be better than Xiangling, which could possibly put, Risley above Ayaka. But we'll have to see. All right. Yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts about this Skyward Atlas? Looks really solid to me.
I mean, yeah, it's the high base attack, and as long as you're still doing okay with your crit, you have a lot of attack, and so attack you don't have to worry about because, like, as you can see, this guy's got 2,800 attack, is absolutely crazy, and a really good crit rate too, so very consistent. If you want to get real picky on this specific build, you could lose some attack and throw it into crit damage. But that's just when you get really picky. So I really like this build.
I was very surprised to see the 4P Shimenawas. But I mean, it makes sense. I actually, it's a very solid idea, actually, if you think about it, to run the 4Ps on this set.
Yeah, and it saves you, the resin efficiency for Desert Pavilion if you don't even have Nilou in the first place, or you don't use characters that want to use Gilded a lot, then why are you touching that domain, right? It may not be worth the resin efficiency. Because like all those characters, like if people might argue kooky hyper blooms. Like, well, you could use flower. I'm like, well, honestly, you could use 4-piece Gildan, and it's pretty much on par with flower. It may be like 2% worse.
Yep. Very solid build though. Like, good idea. All right, Ganyu. Going for a melt Ganyu here. 10-1-4. Obviously, you can see that. 4-piece Wanderer's Troop still. 46 over 231. Double cryo, possibly. Even one cryo, even, if you just got that, that's at least hitting it up by like 15%. So that's still hitting a good 60% crit rate. So 285 EM. Solid build.
I love that. Yeah. Because I know if I got Ganyu, I would want to go melt route. Just personally.
Makes sense.
Because I want to try that Nahida thing with Ganyu. Do
the melt, the burn.
the burning, and then just so everything can melt pretty consistently. So because I want to try that, that's just the route I'd go.
I mean, once again, that just goes to show you more. Al-Haytham would love to have Nahida. Catching would love to have Nahida. Ganyu, especially the way you've built her, would love to have Nahida for a burn team. It just seems like Nahida is constantly coming up, so it seems like 3 characters are the ones that you've shown.
That's why
if you don't have
Nahida's such a
Nahida,
good character.
I would go ahead and get her. For specific accounts, If you didn't have catching, built in this way, obviously this is more of an overload, so maybe if you were going to change it up a bit, you could maybe go for an overload team, an aggravate team. But Al-Haytham, I think, goes to another level when you get Nahida. And then obviously the Ganyu you have built. If you don't have Al-Haytham, Tainari, characters that could use Nahida, then she just loses a little bit of value. That's all. But the way that your account looks, yes, I would agree with Rift here that just Nahida would be the better way. 4-piece Heart of Depth, 75 over 185.
Nice.
Is a 6-10-8 because of +1 to the normal attack that he initially gives himself. That's what this little blue mark here. He gets himself a +1. Other characters, which do you have anybody? No, okay, that's fine. The little blue means like a +3 onto some characters, but he initially gives himself a +1 to his normal attack. With no constellations. That's just a part of his kit. Solid build, very good. Going for Skyward Harp. But some people even say Polar Star, his personal weapon, isn't even his best either. Some people use, I think Thundering Pulse is like the next best, right? From what I've heard.
I think so, yeah. I've even seen Aqua's just for an excessive crit damage, but I don't know. I like Thundering Pulse because the passive gets a lot of use.
That's also very true, yeah. Favonius here on Kazuha, you really don't see that. You see somebody going just full-blown EM, but this just allows you to be over that 160 to constantly make sure no matter what, I'm getting my burst back, which can feel very comfortable. You got a good amount of crit rate as well, even with, that's actually crazy. You have such a high crit rate for having Fav and without going a crit rate circlet. Really, really nice, actually. Helping the party just getting more more ER, just more particles, more energy. So,
Hey Mango, welcome to the stream. Good to see you.
Solid build, very good. If we were gonna give you the idea, I think you can say your 2 cents Rift on who he should go after next. Nahida seems like a clear cut and dry next character you should go after.
And I might be a little bit biased on Nahida as well, just because she's just so versatile. And obviously, I think it's so funny when people say, "Well, she only works in Dendro teams," and I'm just sitting there like, well, yeah, because she's a Dendro character. Any team you throw her in becomes a Dendro team, right? You know what I mean? It feels like a silly kind of weird argument, but she just works so well in all kinds of different, and it's probably because Dendro just is good too with creating so many different reactions. But Nahida is just, she's top of the line for it. She's the Archon. It makes sense. She's a character, though, I would say she's never a waste on pretty much almost any account is not going to be wasted in having her.
So, IU texted me or DM'd me and showed me a picture of most of his build characters. All of his build characters. So he's got Al-Haytham, Farina, Nahida. So he does have Nahida. Kuki, Venti, Eula, Ganyu, Ayaka, Raiden, Catching, Child or Tartaglia, Hu Tao, Bennett, Albedo, Zhongli. Well, there goes the Zhongli idea. I mean, possibly you could go for a looking at your account. I guess maybe Navia. You know, really use Navia with like
I
an
was gonna,
Albedo
yeah, I was gonna
type
say
team.
Navia. You have the Zhongli already,
Maybe
or
even Yelan right
if you
now.
don't want, yeah, if you don't want Navia, I think because you have Zhongli, Chiori would be a fun pull because they have really good synergy and you can do a lot of fun teams with that.
Yeah, the only thing I
I
would
assume
back
they
away
have
from.
Farina.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
have the
okay.
Farina.
They
The only
have
reason I would back
Arlecchino.
away off of the Chiori would be just because you don't have a DPS character you can really run. I know that like you can do that, but you would probably have to get either Navia or specifically considering you have so many Geo characters, you could go for an Ito technically actually. But yeah, Chiori, since you have the Albedo, I would probably just stick with him as your supportive Geo unit. They've
Oh, if
got
they have
Wander.
Albedo, I didn't hear that one. Then yeah, Navia is a better pull than
Well,
Chiori.
yeah. Um, and then so
But
yeah,
your
either
account
Navia
stacks, so I
or
feel like it's
Yelan.
fun factor is the kind of the first priority. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they have Xingqiu, but it doesn't look like they have Yelan. At least don't have them built
Yeah, Yelan's gonna be a good
for
pull.
your. Now they have Farina for their Alhaitham, which I do like better, and the Nahida and Kuki. So you've got the perfect build team
Uh-huh.
for Alhaitham.
Yeah, yeah.
But
You
what
could
might
go
help
and
more is
try
going to
new
be for the
teams
Hu.
in general. Like if they don't have Nilu, that opens up a whole new team. That's just really fun to play.
True.
If they wanted
The other
that,
characters they have is
Baiju.
Wanderer, Kazuha, Shenhe, Kokomi, Mona, Diluc, Official,
Ooh,
Xingqiu, Xiangling.
they have Kokomi. Yeah, yeah. You already have a best in slot Nilu team. You're just missing Nilu.
Yep. So, and then they have an Animo Traveler, but I'm going to guess you could switch that out for a Dendro Traveler and just have the double Dendro, or maybe if you
Of
have
course,
Yao Yao,
yeah.
build your Yao Yao for the healer for the team. But either way, you could go for the Nilu Bloom team and go Nilu. It's a little niche in my personal opinion, especially coming back to the game. I honestly think that you have everything solidly built. I would just say, like, just honestly, I
Yeah,
think it
the
just
Yelan
wait.
is what I keep thinking of.
Honestly, I
You
think
know, or
honestly
yeah,
just
yeah, just
wait
wait, like
and go
see what
for
those new characters in Atlan are doing.
exactly. I don't think maybe the 5.0 characters are going to be good for you. Mualani doesn't seem like she's going to be like stellar, like she's going to be game breaking. In Kinich, you don't have like I don't know. I'm not sure how goaded of a pull that would be for you. But you know, looking at 5.1, if you want to grab Silonin to have a combo with your Albedo or your Zhongli would be kind of solid. You could go for if you know Chausa, if you which you probably might considering the amount of cryo characters you pull, and then also maybe you know or just honestly the Archon, maybe just save the Archon. Oh, and then he just texted me. Okay, he just DM me. Should I go for Yelan, Navi, or Nilu? That is a question for the ages.
Yelan, Navia, or Nilu? Oh my goodness.
Those are like
Well,
the three
okay,
characters to
those are
go
all
for.
good characters. Yeah,
Because
they're all good.
Yelan's gonna help your Hu Tao with your Xingqiu and your Zhongli. That's gonna like bring your Hu Tao to the next level. Like it's gonna make that team absolutely goatedly insane. Like not it's not even funny. Navia is gonna just wreck house with anything she touches. So if you get her, put her with your Albedo, your Bennett, and just a flex or like another like Xingqiu for instance to just have the constant the crystallized reactions go to
Yeah.
team or even use Fischl.
Also, Yelan's going to be really good for your Alhaitham and Wanderer. One of Wanderer's favorite teammates is Yelan,
That's another one.
and
Alhaitham you
Alhaitham likes it
have
for the Hyper Bloom.
right. I
You're
think
using
that they do
Tristan.
use Farina instead on that team, so that might be better. But yeah, I do think the Yelan would be better for the Wanderer.
Like, yeah, it just gives you some options if if you're in the abyss and stuff. Yelan's a you're gonna if you have Yelan, she's gonna get used.
Right.
Is I guess the point. Navi you're probably gonna use because it fills a slot as a DPS.
And then Nilu.
And Neela,
You're
if
looking
that's the
at
team you
some
want to
of
go
the
after.
best characters in the game to go after here. It just depends on what you want. Do you want your Hu Tao and Wanderer to perform better in the Abyss? Then go for Yelan. Do you want a new team that could start to attack things and one of the best teams that you can probably go after? Go for Navia. If you want an insane like Nilu Bloom team that you basically already have set up for, you're probably just gonna have to build Nilu and a Dendro healer. So make sure you have Yao Yao. I wouldn't build that team if you don't have Yao Yao, in my personal opinion. Well, no, because you've got
Well, they have
Kokomi.
Kokomi, so I
So
wouldn't even use Xiao
Dendro.
Yao in that
So then
team.
just do Dendro Traveler.
Yeah, or even Kale. If
Yeah.
you
So
just don't have Dendro Traveler built, Kale works fine
I was
there
about to say
too.
they
It's
have
all about
level
application.
70 Dendro Animo Traveler. So all you would have to do is just level the Animo Traveler to 80 and then just put new stuff on
Just
her, which is going
slap
to
a
be
bunch of
better.
ER.
Right, which is going to be a lot easier than building Kale from the ground up, probably. So yeah,
Uh-huh.
okay. In my personal opinion, it looks like I don't even know. It's three different ways in which you want to go. So do you have a preference? Like, do you want to make your Yelan and your Wanderer goated for the Abyss? Do they clear already extremely well for you? Or do you need a new team to break through the barrier? Which I think your Alhaitham is probably fine. Your Raiden, you've got Kazuha and Venti. You could just use Venti in that sense actually, and Bennett, and then another like Fischl or something just for double electro resonance. So your Raiden's probably fine. Your Hu Tao, you could use Kazuha, Xingqiu, and Zhongli, which if anything there you probably want to grab Yelan. Wanderer, I mean, you don't have. It doesn't look like you have Farzan, at least builds. Um, I don't know. This is actually kind of. This is actually making us think, which is I like this. This is kind of
I
cool.
think I think I think it really does come down to if you're thinking in meta, because Xingqiu exists, Yelan gets dropped a little bit, and you already have Farina, so you have two off-field hydro appliers. If we're thinking in that sense, Yelan's still going to be a good pull. Okay, but you can work around it already with what your account looks like. Navia is going to add something new to your account because it's an on-field Geo character, right? That's a DPS. She has a lot of flexible teams, and you could totally build already. And then with having Kokomi and Nahida already, you're completely set up for Anilu Bloom. So, and then that's going to add a completely new team to your account. That might be something you want if you're thinking about fun factor or you just want to try something new or different. I think it's between Navia and Nilu, to be honest, which I never thought I'd say in between those three characters. But that's why it depends on the account.
Yep.
Hence why we do tuple and not tuples and ask all the different questions.
I switched over to your the so that you can see the characters built Rift. Um
Oh,
yeah.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot to switch that. But um I don't know. Yeah, I mean it's like three different ways you want to go. Personally for me, I don't like bloom teams, so I wouldn't go for Nilu. But that's personal. That's not for you.
Right.
I know a lot of people do like the bloom teams and they work extremely well, especially since you have Kokomi. Like in Nahida already, it's extremely good for you. Um
Mm-hmm.
the Navia, you have, like I said, you already have Albedo and Zhongli. One of the two is going to be some amazing teammates for her, and you have Xingqiu or Fischl and Bennett to combine those three characters
And even Farina.
and Farina.
And it yeah. Another thing you could do with Navia, maybe in the future, I don't see a Xiao Yun here, but you could do like a plunge Navia. I know that people have a lot of fun with something like that. They'll do like Farina, Xiao Yun, and Zhongli, and just do a double Geo plunge Navia with Farina. Um, so that's not if you want something to build specifically and have a plan for later on. Yelan is going to be a direct upgrade to your Hu Tao and your Wanderer. So it's a direct upgrade to two characters, depending on how much you use them.
Your
You
Navia and
know,
Nilu create new teams for you, though. I guess that's the way
right.
you're looking at.
And because you have so many 5 stars already, you're definitely, like, by the looks of it, a veteran player. You already have what you need to complete Abyss. So what matters the most is going to be you can start to weigh in fun factor a lot more than just, which, by the way, should, like, every character, it's a video game. But like you're not like needing something is the point. And so you just need to pull with like what team you want to go after to have fun with, which is why Nilu is a great candidate, but also Navi is a great candidate for the same reason.
We've blabbed a lot.
That we
Yapper
have.
Yapper Town. Um, but yeah, I guess basically those are your options. It is kind of Yelan on one side to upgrade current teams, and Navia and Eula on the other side to create new teams. It's just it's
Yeah,
now
yeah, no, that's a
it's
good way of
literally
looking at
just
it. Do
up
you
to
want an
you.
upgrade? Yeah, do you want an upgrade to what you have, essentially? Or do you want something completely new? A fresh feel?
Or just look like okay, look, I'm clearing the abyss. I don't really need either. Technically, you don't need either three of them if you're clearing abyss 12-3. Um, so if you want, you could just be like, you know what, I'm doing fine.
My question is, do they have Nervalette? I don't see a Nervalette in here, but they have Farina. So honestly, Nervalette would be a character that you could, that would be fun. That's a fun team. But then,
That's
you
also
have
true.
Child, you have Kokomi. Kokomi, I wouldn't say, oh, if you have Kokomi, you don't need a Hydro DPS because I feel like it's a little different with her. But you have Child, so, you know.
That's
But
also
Nervalette's
yeah.
just kind of a tier of his own.
Yeah, that's also another good point. Just going for a Neuvillette. They said maybe from a meta perspective, I should pull for Yelan, but Navia is not a bad option either, and a fun one too. So I think I'll just go for Navia.
Yeah, really.
Honestly,
But
fair.
like some people are saying in chat, like just save for Nyland, and we did mention it earlier. If you really can't decide, it never hurts to save. It
Right.
never hurts to
And we have
save.
no clue when Navia is going to pop back up again. So if you're like, look, I'm going to go for Navia, but if she's too close to another character I really want, then it's not worth it. Because we don't know when Navia is going to come back out. And she's not coming out in 5.0. So I do have some
That's a
issues
good
with the
point you
current
brought
Abyss
up,
and
IU.
and been thinking a while to pull Yelan to have an easier time with Hu Tao due to damage issues.
And I can testify, Yelan is so good for Hu Tao. Like Farina's not bad for Hu Tao, but Yelan is kind of another level. It's kind of
I
like
think
you can.
honestly, the way that you're looking at it, then Yelan or Navia, and if they're too close to characters that you want in Natlin, go for the Natlin characters because they're gonna
Mhm.
be the next level characters. So if you want to find a new DPS character and they're just too close, go for that. Go for the fun option until Yelan has a rerun. There you go. Wait until Navia comes out and then see what happens after that, I guess. All right, there we go. Now racking our brains. Thank you, made us think. Which honestly I didn't think I would have to do as much anymore. But hey, new challenges I'll take. All right. Well, who's the next person after IU?
Let's see here. I had to go to it as well because I was in there.
I know we've got some new
Looks
people.
like Jet Black.
Okay, what's the UID?
The UID is 846
Mm-hmm.
164 325.
Okay.
That's 846 164 325. Called today. Okay, all right.
Free to play, by the way. Jet.
Playing since 2.2.
I would like to know what
Some people say if Hu Tao is having trouble clearing and they enjoy Hu Tao gameplay, then Yelan is definitely a better pull. And I would agree with that.
fair.
Saving for Pyro Archon. You should just pull for the units that make your gameplay experience more fun. Based. Like that at the end of the day, that's the ultimate. Like just get what you want. Don't let the meta talk kind of sway you from just pulling what you actually would have fun playing with. Like if you like Sino gameplay, then pull Sino and build his best team because it's fun. That's
Yep.
a really good.
Without a feather and flower, it's still an extremely good build too.
Wow. Holy cow.
I
Um,
don't know what the level 90 did to you and why you're just like, you know what? No, you stick at 89. But maybe level 90s just hurt you. I don't know. How to get on the list, Mango? Go
it's
ahead and join
probably
our Discord and then go to the account review channel and then put in your UID. And hopefully we'll be able to get
mhm.
to you today.
My thought is they go to 89 because they if it's like an OCD thing where they don't want the technical waste when they kill enemies, like the experience, they want it to still go somewhere. That's just my thought.
Fair, I guess. All right, well, I mean, solid Sino though. 8, 10, 10, 65 over 190, a good amount of EM, even without the feather and flower. I mean, still, like, that's a flex and a half. 989 with the
Ooh,
weapon,
with the weapon, yeah.
68 over 150. Higher crit, lower crit damage, but because of the high damage, physical damage bonus, yeah, 104 and a 4-piece Pale Flame. I am very jealous. I really
Yeah, that's
want
pretty
I want her
good.
weapon
That's
so
pretty
bad.
good.
I've wanted her. I've wanted it since I got her on
Her weapon is beautiful.
her first like run, but I didn't make it. Yeah, tough. Solid character. Very, very good though. Lots of double crit, high crit damage too on this one right here. So and just consistent amount of crit rate. So very, very good build.
By the way,
Yelan
I think
Aqua.
the person we're viewing now, um, is fixing their signos. So once you go through all of them, we can go back to any characters that needed the fixing and just refresh the page
Okay.
if you want to take a quick look.
Okay.
Level 89 because last level organic.
Yeah, which is what you said. It's organic. It's
Mhm.
going through time. 32,000 HP Aqua Simulacra, 84 over 214, 165 ER, 7910.
Oh, I love this Yelan. The crit rate. Oh, it's so good. Cause I'm a 65 222, but that extra crit, you're like 20% crit rate above that,
Insane.
and the crit damage isn't like that much lower at all. Yeah, that's awesome. That's an awesome Hu Tao. You got the EM, yeah, everything's there. Oh wow, yeah, I just noticed that too, and that's the only EM. Very interesting.
Might do more damage. Maybe did some damage testing to realize the HP sands actually didn't help.
Probably.
Fair enough.
There's a lot
Triple
of
Crown.
factors that go into it, you know. Like if you're melting, then yeah, the EM's probably a little bit better.
And like we said, Yelan's helping that so much. Not Yelan, Layla is a really good candidate for that. Triple EM, 927 with his weapon, and
Love the ER.
180 ER,
Yeah.
899. Very good. And honestly, you can do that for the plunging. But yeah, oh my goodness, really just solid build. Oh my goodness, 4-piece iridescent, goated Kazuha, C1R1, 10, 6, 9, 76 over 206. Very
It's
nice.
solid. I feel like a lot of Arlecchinos look like copy and paste. Is that just me? They always look really good.
Well, yeah, because
And I
getting
feel
that
like
80
Raiden's
over
kind of the same
220
way.
is
You
so
always
difficult.
see, yeah, you always see like a 50 to 120, 130 on Raidens with the 260, 270. Like they're always very similar, you know?
Yep. Yeah, it's just because, I mean, a lot of
I
people
guess
have
because with
different
those
ways you can
characters.
build the Hu Taos, you can build Eula's a little bit differently. For instance, I go for higher crit damage, they went for a higher crit rate. Sinos, depending on
Yeah.
what you do, you can switch around your build. Even though this is like less, it's probably okay, not yet, but still, like it's still like you can switch around your build and still have it pretty good depending on how you build it. There's a lot of wiggle room on how to use a character, which is the great thing about Genshin is you can switch their builds around. But there are certain characters that it's just like if you want the character to be extremely good, for instance, they put a lot of time and effort into Fragment. There is just one or two ways of like this is the way to build them. Like that is kind of the way to go.
This is the way. Yeah.
Quite literally. Anyways, amazing Arlecchino. Similar to mine
Yep.
actually, about
It's
22,
better than mine.
22 attack. You got 4 more attack than I do. I think I've got more EM or something. I've got similar amount of crit rate, similar amount of crit damage. Like I have like 2% more crit damage. I think you have a higher crit rate. Like like you said, it's basically copy and paste on like the idea of the builds, especially when you have that weapon. Missplitter, second best weapon for an Alhaitham, by the way. Really, really good ability behind his weapon. Circlet's missing, but even if it's, not there,
Probably
like,
crit rate,
yeah, I'm gonna guess
maybe?
crit rate with a high crit damage, maybe. So, like, even if this is 30 higher, it's a 70 over 170, I'm gonna guess is probably what
Yeah,
it
because
is.
I'd rather be more consistent. And just looking at this.
Right.
Like if I was choosing, I'd rather be a 70 over 147 than a 43, 44 over 200, whatever.
Yep. 3-month grind. Now my Reverie set is coded. Yeah, like I said, like that's just what happens. as you saw, like I can go through and show you guys my like Reverie set that I could have for an Emily, which I was gonna go for, but I'm not going for anymore. Like that set, I have like a double crit attack on almost every piece that she has, and it's or I would have on Unfinished Reverie, just because if you grind so much into this set, the other set is bound to do well. It's the same thing why my Yoimiya has a pretty good Shimenawa set. I grinded emblems so hard, the other set is just over time probably going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
Good
I'm
amount of
excited
EM.
to see this Navia. Ooh, it's very similar to yours.
Just once again, similar build.
Man, they think like you.
Because I have the right way of thinking. No, I'm kidding.
Oh,
But
obviously, because my way is the right way.
although yours is better, lol. Wait, it took me a week.
They're talking about
It took me a week
so
to grind Reverie. Okay, they're saying okay, yours is you probably have a better Reveries. Oh, okay. Oh, you're talking about not the Reverie set.
the person we're reviewing and Mango.
Yeah, yeah. Still, yeah. I mean, still, like honestly, this set is just. I think I took a week or two on this, but I also threw like fragiles
I don't
into
know,
it
guys. Y'all are slow. It took me a day.
to build your Arlecchino,
Yeah,
the one you don't have.
yeah.
Just yeah. 2400 attack. Yeah, honestly, just
I
there you
love the high crit
there you go.
rate Navias. It's just
Some good crit
satisfying, and
damage.
it's even better because you never have to crit fish with the skill.
Yep,
You know,
and you can easily get some high crit damage, and the base
she just
attack just
scales
works out
so
well.
well. You don't even need like a ridiculous crit damage
Which to
because she
go
just scales amazingly.
which to go back to the person we were just talking to a minute ago, that is why like or IU, that's why like going for Navia isn't bad either if in the future you're going for her. Seeing how easy she is to build, especially if you grab her weapon like and go for her four piece, she's just such an easy to build character. So,
Right, she is, and if you don't have her weapon, just run Serpent Spine.
yeah, Serpent's went another great weapon for her. Just copy pest. Yes.
And she's just really fun to play. So like she's just in general a good pull. She's
Yep.
a good balance between fun factor and what's actually like considered meta, arguably.
What was it?
She's a very good balance between the two.
Actually, since I have Genshin open on my end, I want to. Okay, so literally to show you, I have 2,222 attack, so very similar attack. My crit is 98.2, so very similar crit. My crit damage is 173.9 as well. This exact same crit damage.
That is hilarious.
And my ER is 113, so it's a little different, but still, like that just goes to show you, like that's so funny that they're so similar. Oh my goodness, that's
Yeah, wow.
awesome. That's actually kind of funny. I do like that. I mean, very
Yeah.
very good, very very solid build. Navia, love that. All right.
You can
Who's
go
next?
two piece on Navia too. Yeah, that's very true.
Mm-hmm. Once again, substats. So and main stats. They're just gonna.
I don't use Discord, so I don't know what to do. How do I join the server? Mingo says.
Well, you might have to get Discord.
You download it. I downloaded it for this.
Okay. So
Yeah.
if you go to, well, actually, hold up. Yeah. If you.
Mingo, yeah, we already saw you put your UID in the account review.
Okay. Perfect.
We saw it. So you're in the queue. Even if you were to get rid of Discord right now because your UID is in there, you're in.
They said best free to play weapons for Navia. So with Navia, I think there's multiple different ways to go about her. Obviously, you can see I like my crit rate on my Navia. So going for crit rate builds, free to play, that kind of knocks out Serpent Spine, which is like even her second best weapon above even something like Beacon of the Reed Sea or something, which technically could be free to play if you lose to Beacon of the Reed Sea because it is. No, actually, you can't get it. It's not a loss of a 50/50. Never mind. That's not a standard weapon. So,
But no, you're right. It's a great weapon.
yeah, but Serpent Spine I still think is better, but that's not free to play. The other, I guess, free to play, and it was an event if you got it, is the Ultimate Overlord's Mega Magic, which is an ER main stat weapon, but it's got a really solid ability. It gives like attack increase, and then it gives like another attack increase, I believe, if you do the like R and maybe the R&R thing, right? That buff from that weapon. So It's one of those. Or yeah, no, it's not the R&R. It's the Melazines. If you help the all the Melazine quests in the village that they're in, then you'll get like an extra attack buff as well. So it's one of those weapons. So, yeah, personally, that's what I would say. Just go for that. I guess Tidal Shadow, right? Because that's an attack percent weapon. I think.
Title Shadow.
Yeah, if
I
they're
think so.
healed, then they
Yeah,
get
I
like
think
a
you're
huge
right.
attack buff, and then the attack percent on the main stat could be another good weapon. You're probably once again, honestly, just go for super high crit rate. Like go for crit rate, circlet. Even if you're
Yeah,
not
you can't go wrong with the
94,
crit.
98 like me and this other person are, with Jets at like 94, I'm at 98. You can even see here, like you just go for an extremely high crit rate. Try to hit the 80 mark at that point, and getting higher than that, and you should be good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, she can use a lot of different weapons, so especially free to play weapons. Prototype Archaic, right? It's also attack percent. I guess you could use that.
Yeah, it's attack percent.
And helps, like, I don't know. Isn't that the normal attack ability as well that it has? So you could use that, I think.
Prototype Archaic just kind of does additional damage based on your attack when you do normals in charge,
Okay.
inherently helping her damage, but you know.
So yeah, I mean, there you go. So just once again, go high crit rate. You can even use two piece. Just high crit rate, and go for
I
neither
mean,
an
if you're
attack
around
percent,
for the
whatever,
event
whatever.
when Navia was released, and you have the Ultimate Overlord's Mega Magic Sword, I think that's a pretty good option.
Yeah, for sure. That would be the highest one rated for free to play. If you don't have her weapon and you don't have Servant Spine, which
Yeah, and that's true. You could use Blackcliff if you want to purchase it in the shop, just because it is crit damage in the main stat, if
true.
that's what you want, and just do crit rate circlet. And you get more attack when you defeat opponents, which Navi is pretty good at because she kind of just likes to one-tap a lot of things. If you're not fighting a boss and you're fighting like a wave of bigger enemies, she's good
Yep.
for it. She's good for everything.
80% crit rate for free to play will be a ton of work, but I'll try. Well, even if you look at this person, right? I mean, they probably grinded this set a lot, so you keep that in mind. But they even have their weapon because this person is a free to play as well, so keep that in mind. And this is a low crit rate weapon, so if you can get something even without the crit rate, even without this 22%, right? This brings them down
Yes,
to like
I'm glad that
72.
I'm
So
glad he brought that up. You can go 4-piece Marshazé if you play with Farina. If you're doing like Farina, and then that opens up easy avenue to throw in Xianyun and do a plunge Navia. That seems really fun. And if you're doing Marshazé, easy peasy.
right, and just get a bunch of crit rate.
Marshazé, her weapon, you don't need any more crit rate at that point.
Yeah, just depends on what you want to do. But I think if you go for 80 and then you backtrack it, right? Going for the crit rate that you can get in this circlet is 31.1 plus the 5% you get starting out. That's 36 already. And you only have another 34% crit rate to go. So just look for extremely high amounts of crit rate on all these other four pieces. I think it won't be that difficult. Unless, of course, like Rift was just talking about, you go for a 4-piece Marshall Say and you have Farina and change your HP a bunch. I think that's also a really solid idea. Slap it with Bennett, slap Farina in the team, and then put another Geo character in there because she loves Geo resonance. So honestly, just an easy way, because then the 31 there, the 36 from the set is going to give you at 77, and then the 5% that you get starting out is already over 80%. So
And yeah, he was right. Earthshaker from the Natlan, the new 4-star will be good because it does give some skill damage. Just make sure you're using a pyro related team. Like just do Bennett Xiangling, double Geo, Navia, Zhongli, Bennett Xiangling.
perfect. All right. Well, who is our next one?
Let me look for that. The next one. So that was Jet Black. So the next one is Senpai Blank.
Okay.
There you might 10
Say that one more time. You lagged out.
810
Mm-hmm.
382 969.
Okay. All right. Senpai. Perfect. Oh, we got a Sucrose. Sucrose
Ooh,
lover.
can't wait. Oh, they don't have that. Okay. But hey, respect.
Yeah, Sucrose is the queen.
I know you've probably been through a lot hearing the Sucrose hate, so I just want to, pause for a moment and just commend you as a fellow soldier in the fight. Okay.
Fellow soldier in the fight. Oh my goodness. All right, four-piece Glad. Like I stated before, going on a four-piece Glad is way more resin efficient if you have a really solid set than going for a four-piece on Fragment. So very good set. 2000 attack, 61 EM. Pretty good to have considering you're probably trying to vaporize with her consistently. 80 over 205 is a solid crit. 1068 is also pretty good. So good looking set here. Pretty good Arlecchino we have here. Weapon. Love to see it. The Arlecchinos are very similar no matter what you do.
I'm telling you, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Ooh, I like the art for the Ganyu.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. Her skin's really good. I don't have her, but her skin's one of my favorites. If we ever did like a ranking a video for like the skins,
Basically, yeah.
she'd be up there for me.
All right, so next we have... Oh, I just smacked my mic. That's perfect. All right, attack percent, so even still some EM, and then an R1C0 Ganyu for Amos's bow. I know I just talked crap about it, but it still can work. It's not a terrible weapon, but...
It's the good middle ground if you want to go between the melt and freeze, so you're not switching weapons around a lot.
Right. Like, it is still a good
It's
weapon.
a
For me,
very
it's
good
just
build.
absolutely useless because I don't have
Very
Ganyu.
good build with that.
Yeah, I mean, a 63
Considering
over
they're not
208.
using a crit weapon, and that's a 63 over 208. Imagine just throwing on any crit rate or any crit damage weapon.
By the way, you don't know
It's a
which is the main
270
stat
with
here.
Thundered Bolt.
Just want to...
Yeah, which... That's hilarious. That's a lot of crit. Across all of the artifacts.
Even without it being on the goblet, there's still a high crit rate here. Absolutely insane.
Oh my goodness.
Does she ascend? Wait, 31, 10, no, 4. No, she doesn't. 40 plus. Okay. Does she ascend
I
crit
think
damage?
Ganyu ascends into attack, but I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong.
Zero clue.
I'm known to be wrong. Let me look it up real quick. I'm already on Hakushin actually.
She
So I could just check real quick.
ascends in...
She ascends into
crit damage, like I said.
crit damage. Yeah.
Haha, Rift was wrong. No, I'm kidding. Everybody shame Rift. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. Because I've definitely been wrong before. Never. Because I mean, guys, look, I'm an Arlecchino, man. I can't be wrong. Right? Right?
Crickets in the background.
No one else? Okay. Just cry in the corner. All right, anyways, Thundering Pulse on... Oh my goodness. 76 over 250? 2100 attack on a 4-piece Shimon. Okay. Yeah, I thought my 4-piece Shimenawas was good. I was like, oh yeah, pretty... Holy cow. What are you hitting on this Farina? I mean, this Yoimiya. Holy cow.
Yeah, that's a pretty good... It reminds me of our friend, actually. Our friend, and I've seen it. I have seen it. And of course, this is on Melt, not Vaporize, but they can hit like over 100k normal attacks.
126 EM still on this build, by the way. Okay.
Dear goodness.
My goodness.
What is this?
Xiangling. 73 over 175, 210 ER with Staff of Homa.
Wow. That's...
The funny thing
wow.
is this probably still isn't enough ER for each rotation.
Yeah, well,
this is my daily make fun of Xiangling. So
it's funny because for me it just depends on the team. Like a lot of the teams I run her in, I don't have an ER problem, but that has to do with my other characters and the way they're built to kind of help Xiangling, kind of a thing.
Yeah, why would you help a 4-star though? Ew.
Because I'm Rift, okay.
It would just spit. No, that's disgusting. No, I'm kidding. This is a very good build, though. Absolutely amazing. On-set goblet. Lots of crit. Lots of ER. 187 EM without even an EM main stat is funny and also very good. So, hit 1400 attack still at the same day. So,
It's an amazing Xiangling.
Never mind, the attack's going to go higher, so based on your HP. So, pretty good. Solid build. Kagura's Verity, second best weapon on we're seeing a lot of second best weapons on characters, and it's like honestly usually you don't see a lot of people grab like a 5-star weapon used for another character and put it on a different character, so it's nice to see this actually every once in a while.
This Nahida is critting all the time.
Oh yeah, the 24% because you're over Yeah, as long as you get over the
They're getting
800.
about, I want to say 15% crit rate, just as an estimate.
Yeah.
Well,
Which,
I could do the math real quick while you're talking.
what's 657 times 0.25? Yeah, it's about, yeah, I mean, it's actually a little bit higher, I think, but still, I mean, I don't think that this is really a problem because you're still, yeah, it's almost 90% crit rate no matter what. And you still have 200% crit damage, which is absolutely
Mm-hmm.
insane. Did you figure out what the,
Hold on, I had to go to hit the talent in game.
oh, I believe it's 0.08% crit rate for every amount of
It's
EM
point
over,
point zero 0.03% crit rate
oh, okay.
for each point. So let me get the calculation. So if I do
I think it's
point
at
zero 0.03
19, so 20? Is that 20 crit rate? I think.
times 650s. Yeah, it's 19.7%.
How would you look at that? There you go. I mean, it's 20% crit rate. This is
So
91.5.
yeah, it's a 90, yeah.
Probably. It's like a 90 point something, but still. Like you said, constant crits. 90 over 200 is absolutely insane. Also, you're not getting the multiple triggers in Kagura severity, but it's still helping your Trikarma purification damage because it's helping elemental skill damage. So, very good build. 6 10 10. Just very well built. A 4-piece, by the way, I didn't realize this. This is a 4-piece gilded. This is a very personal damage built
Yeah. Yeah.
Naida. I like to see that. Very cool. Engulfing Lightning,
Ooh,
C1R1.
this is a good Raiden.
60 over 146 with 270.
Oh my goodness, where's the EM coming from?
The Goblet.
Oh, I see that now.
But still.
I was like, 'cause I'm assuming electro damage bonus.
Well, that's the thing. You don't have to go into Electro
Like,
damage
oh my
bonus for a
goodness.
lot of her stuff just because she already
This,
ascends into it.
yeah,
Or Nari.
this Raiden is
She
gonna
puts
feel
into it.
really good with like a Tainari quick swap.
Also very true. Throw Tainari and what's her name? Nahida in the team, and then throw in Baiju
I
or Yao Yao
absolutely love a Tainari Raiden quick swap with Nahida and then like Zhongli
or
as a flex.
Kuki.
And you could do other flexes as well.
Yep.
I like Zhongli because it gives Tainari a shield, and I don't have
Also
to. I
true.
use less brain cells, you know, because I didn't
And
when I was
that's
born
what
I
we're
didn't scale into brain cells,
and
so
that's
I
what
had
we're
to use that as my main stat.
no. We were fine until once again we started playing gacha games. But honestly,
Just the last
very good
comment.
build.
Oh, it's like
There
what's
you
going
go,
on
though.
here?
Here you
Like,
go. There's a perfect build for a two-piece,
ooh,
nighttime and
look
fragment.
at that. Oh my
So it's going
goodness,
heavy into attack percent, but
2,700 almost.
you're going two-piece into attack, which is still can be good because look at the crit rate that you can get, and her weapon
Mm,
personally. And if you had Serpent Spine or a high crit rate weapon or whatever, that just allows you. And this is without a crit rate circlet. So, here you go. It's just another free-to-play option possibly to
yeah,
show you. And without even her 4-piece personal set. So, anyways, a solid build. Love to see it. Lots of crit rate and lots of crit damage.
that Navi is hitting very hard.
Yes.
Because I know I was like, what do you usually see, Vixen, when you hit with your Navia?
Um,
Like max rotation, if by stacks.
if
I
we're
know
not,
you
if we're
hit like
talking,
200 something.
yeah, if we're talking let's not even talk outside of Abyss because that's kind of cheating. Inside of Abyss, 200, 200, 2 something. I don't know.
Like what I feel like I remember 235. I feel like that's a good middle ground. Like I've seen you hit 235k with this Navia skills.
If I can,
And this
yeah.
character, if, in terms of damage, like now you're critting 98% of the time, right? So like you're gonna crit more, but this person's not like terrible either with the 60%, right? Um, but the damage wise, they have 400 attack over, and the crit damage is going from like what do you have 190?
Let me. Yeah, I'm
That's
I'm a 2,222 attack with a 98 over 174.
174. So you're getting basically another 60% crit damage in this Navi at plus 400 attack. So the damage is probably close to a 300k,
Well, that's
maybe even
also
higher.
without they don't have a 4-piece nighttime. Whereas I get
That's true.
after
You're
using
right.
a
You're
skill,
right.
I get a 20% geo damage bonus. And then if I
That's
have
right.
a
So it's
crystallized
probably
reaction,
similar, maybe a
it's
little bit better.
30% geo damage bonus. So
Probably a little bit better. Which is why like that just goes to show if you have something that's just better substats, this is why you do two piece. If the substats are just better because it's pretty much the same, if not a little bit better.
Work in progress. Well, okay, I guess you're doing the 4 piece nighttime. That's fair. I was like, how is this a work in progress? But I guess yeah, if you because you probably grinded out this set for or the
You have 400% crit
they're
damage.
probably
Still a work
waiting
in
until
progress.
they can get a 4 piece on Arlecchino, or maybe they're waiting until they can get a 4 piece on her, and then make a 4 piece over on Arlecchino.
Yeah, yeah.
But your Arlecchino's set, so yeah, it makes sense to work on your
They're
Navia
both
instead.
good as is, to be completely honest.
They just got them. I just realized that they just got Navia, so dear goodness, very good. Farina with
Dude,
the weapon, 2810,
love to see it.
180 ER. What in the world is that crit? Oh wait, that's the weapon. Okay, I was like, what?
Yeah. You're like, oh dear Lord have mercy. Oh my goodness, Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust. Okay.
What? Oh my goodness,
I had a brain aneurysm looking at this build.
guys, what?
ER Sands.
That's actually
That's
kind of
too much
insane.
crit. That's I'm gonna have to confiscate your account, sir. That
Why,
wasn't
you can
supposed to
still put
happen.
it
I don't
on
know how that
yours?
happened, but no.
Dear goodness, that's just honestly just a very solid build. Like,
The high ER, yeah, this is
was it? Hold up, let me see if I could switch over. Cause how much ER do they have? What is that?
178.
178. Oh my goodness, dude. I would have to get her weapon. I would have to swap over from my Festering Desire, but I lose 46% ER, which means I'm down to like a 135 or something like that. But I would then be at like 240,
Yeah.
275 over 240. But still, that's still a better because
Wow.
you go more crit rate. You have my goodness, this is just well built, like just solid build.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
see you went once again. Oh, that's why, because they gave up like 20,000 HP overall comparatively with the Sands to go for to make sure I have a better ER, which is probably actually better.
I mean, it's probably like about 5 to 6,000 HP. It's like weighing the difference. Do I want 6,000 more HP, 5 to 6,000 more, or do I want to actually have a
Consistent
very comfortable
rotation.
ER? Because yeah, the burst is super important for Farina. Like, because everything else about her is personal damage,
Mm-hmm.
which is amazing, and you want it. But if you don't have the burst, you're not only taking away from her personal damage, you're taking away from the team's damage.
Yep.
So I think that's a good decision making in that sense.
Yeah, they said,
And they made up for it trying to go HP on the goblet. So you're totally fine here. This is an awesome Farina.
which I do think is the better way to go anyway with her, no matter what. Unless you have, I believe, the C6, going for an HP percent goblet is the way to go. I believe Hydro damage.
Yeah, or if you're
changes
doing like
that.
a double, Hydro Resonance. If you're using Nervalette, she doesn't need the ER either because Nervalette gives a ton of particles.
Yeah, but I do think either way though, having about 180 ER, it's just comfortable, and that's where you need to be.
Why are we nitpicking here? This is a good, you know what I mean?
This is a very goated build. They said
Yeah.
they want more HP, and while I do believe that you can min max a little bit, like it's not by much. Like you're talking like very very minuscule nitpicking. So very very goated though.
Mhm.
Freaking good,
Yeah.
good account. All right, how many more accounts do we have?
I personally have time for one more.
I was about to say I know we have, contrary to popular belief, just because we do play gotchas, but we do have lives outside of this. Okay,
Yes, we do.
we have loading 66. It's a new member. Thank you for joining their Discord. Control V.
There's always new people that there's always an influx when we do these. It's great. I love adding people to the community. I don't know, what's better. I mean, these are fun, but I just like how more people get in,
Yeah, we're just getting to see more people, and that's the whole
more
point of
people
the
to talk
Discord.
to.
Yep. Well, okay, so we have loading. We're going to be looking at your stuff. I see a Nevalette here. Awesome. And a Farina. Very nice. So C0 with Prototype Amber. Good free-to-play weapon to use with Nevalette, one of his best. 37,000 HP with it. A 40 over 202. Getting the extra 36 from the 4-piece Marechaussee is putting you at a 76 over 202. Absolutely insane. On-piece goblet. 120 ER. Like you said, you create so many particles, though it's not even worth it. Crowned normal attack talent. Solid build here. Even some EM if you happen to vaporize or anything else. Like, you possibly can get some good numbers out of it. So, I mean, just really solid build, honestly, actually.
Yeah.
R5 too. Farina, the ferryman. Some ER. So 180 ER. once again, honestly, hitting that 180 ER threshold for Farina, just like one around there, like 179,
Hmm.
180, just really solid.
This is one of those builds that just is really satisfying to look at because you see the crate, you're like, ah, nice, 65, 167, like that's just nice, you know.
Yeah,
And then you get the 180, comfortable, it's aesthetically pleasing, and but the ER, I'm sorry, the HP is also really high.
I found this stream from a random YouTube recommendation. Well, I'm glad that we could be your random YouTube recommendation so that we can
It's good to know that we're someone's YouTube recommendation. You know what I mean? Like,
somehow, some way. Um, but yes. Oh, this is your account, Diva. Perfect. Diva. Let me know if I'm saying that right. Diva or Diva. But yeah, okay. Cool though. Honestly, the Ferryman's actually a really good weapon too, especially at R5.
mhm,
65, like you
mhm.
said, just it's satisfying just build to have. The 4-piece golden troop with the good crit, with the good ER and the HP. It's 37,000, double crowning the skill and the burst. It's just once again, these are just very good to see, especially when you combine that with your Neuvillette. So, good to see. Favonius on Jean, another great idea. 1400 attack, 4-piece on oh, a little bit of okay, yeah. Honestly, you can even be getting some good damage out of her, technically, I guess.
Yeah, the ER is ridiculous. That's awesome.
252 ER. Holy cow, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, your gene's fine.
Yeah, don't worry about Jean. I mean, there's literally nothing to even say here.
Drop
Just
a skill and a burst and rotate. Like, don't even worry. You'll get your burst
there
back.
you go. Oh, Layla in a
Yes, I was
showcase.
excited for this because I saw we got Layla, we got a Bennett Shunglin, and a Ningguang, so I'm excited to see what those look like.
2-piece tenacity, 2-piece retracing bolide. Awesome.
You know, okay. I'm glad to see this because it's something I've thought about for a long time when I was going to build actually specifically Diona. I was like, okay, I could actually do a 2-piece HP and actually 2-piece retracing bolide because it really gives you a lot of the shield strength. And so and then same thing with Layla. I'm glad to actually see this. I just do full 4-piece tenacity because Layla consistently hits from off field to keep tenacity going for other people's attack.
Yeah,
But yeah, I love to see this.
I think I built. See, you'll actually be happy for me, Riff. I'm actually building Layla right now.
What?
Yep.
You built a 4-star?
Okay, you know what?
Oh my goodness.
You know what?
Wow.
Okay. Okay, so I have her on dock hands, but also a 4-piece tenacity. I just really like it. I want more cons on her though. Anyways,
I think my Layla's just Fav.
just what?
I think my Layla's just running Fav.
That's fair. I'm already gonna have a
Like not
bunch
for
of
her.
ER
It's
already on
literally
her,
just
so
for yeah. It's literally just for the teammates.
that's also very fair. But yeah, still solid build. Prototype Rancor. Interesting. I think you're just throwing on a weapon just to have it. Honestly, solid build though. Like honestly, like go for some okay ER, high
She's super
HP,
easy to build.
just high HP, and that's it. And she's amazing at shielding, and that's all you need. It's perfect. Um, even application as well. Here you go. Boom. Free to play. There you go. Look at that. In almost a 70% crit rate. Crit rate circlet, a 2-piece, Glad and Golden Troop, which is skill damage and attack percent, 70% crit rate, 6, 10, 5, and the Ultimate Overload's Mega Magic Sword. Free to play weapon. One of our best weapons. So,
Yeah, you're looking at a relatively free to play build.
yes.
It is basically a free to play build. You 2-piece.
Dockhand is also great on her.
This is good.
Yeah, exactly, Admiral. Like I said, like it's literally just if you can get Dockhands, which I believe the only way to get it is by pulling on a weapon banner, which I was lucky enough to get. But still, like it Dockhands is a good weapon for Layla.
You know, that's a good point that T brought up. If, so I forgot about this. Retracing Bullite gives shield strength in the 2-piece, but it's only for the active character's shield. So, like, if you use Layla's skill, you get the shield, and you switch off of her, you're actually not getting the shield strength anymore. I forgot about that. I didn't think about that. So, that is something to keep in mind. If you want to, like, honestly, I would do it this anyways, even if it still worked with Layla. And this is just me personally. I would just do 4-piece tenacity because that way you
Yep.
are getting shield strength no matter who you're on, and you're getting attack to
And you hit
the other party
consistently
members.
because of those extra things.
Yeah,
Also, she works really
I
well with
yeah.
skill characters, which is why putting her on a Neuvillette Farina team is just so goaded
Mm-hmm.
because they're constantly using their skills, which means
Oh, I
more of
love
her
it.
stars, which means more cryo application, which means more freezing, which means Neuvillette and Farina don't have to move around as much technically with everything that's going on, in which they already have really high mobility anyways, but it's just
Hmm.
so good, so helpful, love it. So, anyways,
Yeah, actually, in a Nervalette Farina team, Layla is pretty much on par with Zhongli
yep.
from what I've seen, and
And because
also
the
when I
double
started
hydro,
testing with
that
it.
shielding is just that her shield's just absolutely insane.
Hmm.
Because I made a guide about her on my personal channel not too long ago, and that like it show like I was kind of taken aback at how much that because I was testing her shield out. I don't even have her built very well. She's level 60. Like everything she's doing is just absolutely insane. So, anyways, enough talking about Layla. Just good character. Very surprised. Good character to build. 4 piece though on Bennett here. And you're going for an attack percent goblet, which you're going to level at some point. Looks pretty good, though. Like, honestly, very solid build. ER Sands. Going for a crit damage at crit rate type, like, build a little bit on Skyward. C3. Looking
Oh,
pretty good.
I see. Okay, so the first four characters is one team, and the second four characters are one team.
That's all. Yeah, no, that's fair.
That's what they said, yeah, which is good. So if you, I noticed you also said you want to pull between Kazuha and Raiden, but um, you also mentioned you can't quick swap well because of 300 ping. Which, to be completely honest, Raiden's kind of she's on the edge of being a quick swap character, and honestly, so is Kazuha. You swap in, you skill burst, get out, and then you come on if you need the Viridescent application again, right? So they're both kind of quick swappy.
I would just go
Uh,
Raiden, in my personal
yeah,
opinion.
Raiden,
Because you already got
you know, if
Jean.
we're based off, yeah, you have Jean. Kazuha would be an upgrade to Jean for your Nervalette Farina team, but it's not necessary. Nervalette Farina by themselves are already so powerful.
Right. You might as well create a new team with Raiden. So that would be
Mm-hmm.
better, in my personal
Agreed.
opinion. But yeah. C4 Xiangling. The catch. ER, perfect, perfect. A good 50 over 127, 240 ER, 140 114, sorry, EM with the catch. Solid builds.
This is great, and
158.
the ER is very comfy.
Mm-hmm. Good builds all around. Also, the Widsith on Ningguang still
Oh, I
doing a
love
little bit of
this.
damage, which is pretty good. 61 over
This is
180.
kind of similar to mine in terms of stats. I'm using four-piece nighttime, like the Navia set on her. It works pretty well, but our crit rates and crit damage is pretty similar. I could look at mine real quick.
Yeah, just honestly,
'Cause
C2,
it might
solid,
be like
566,
exactly the
geo
same.
damage
Not sure.
bonus. You already, yeah, I mean, it looks like a good build. R4
So my
Widsith.
Ningguang is 53 over 174. So I like his better because it's critting more often.
Yep.
If mine's 53 to 174, you have both. They're both higher actually.
Yep. Very, very good. Also secondary character too, just to have for, because I mean, some application and whatnot for.
Ningguang's fun.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
the jade screen, her burst. She can be kind of quick swappy for the sake of Navia, which Navia can also be played that way too. So that's a fun team. Ningguang Navia.
Yep. All right. Well, we are sorry to. I think we're gonna end it out here because I know Rift has some stuff he's got to do today, and I gotta go chill out. And I will be
Yes.
streaming personally later on my own Twitch. Which, if you guys are part of the Discord, you guys can go check in Rift and Vixen personals,
Yeah.
putting out stuff like that.
Please. Oh.
That is, if I have a storm here and I have no clue over the weekend if it's just gonna knock my power out, because storms here are a pain in the butt. So hopefully that won't be a problem, but we'll see. Also, hopefully, thankfully, this stream though for Gotcha Interact has been pretty good, so we'll be happy about that. But yeah, MD or Kakashi in the YouTube, XII Salt. So I don't know if that's 12 Salt or Sea Salt. I have no clue, but Travis as well. Thank you guys for putting your UIDs there. We're going to be trying to do these every week, every Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern time. Every Saturday, we're going to try to do streams. If it's an account
Yes.
review consistently, we'll keep doing account reviews, but we will just do regular streams if there's no account reviews to do. We'll just do regular
And
streams to just chill.
yeah, and that means also the possibility of if we get more events that are co-op we might even do some of the events with some of you guys.
Yes.
That would be really fun. I know we did that a little bit with Wind Trace, and so if we ever get stuff like that in the future, we want to do that. That's a lot of fun.
Yes. Yes, thank you for the stream, Teehee. No problem. Have a good one, guys. YouTube, Admiral, and Diva, good night. Thank you for staying up, Diva, as well. Hopefully, we can help you out a little bit. Thank you guys for showing your accounts. I think that's everything we've got today. So look forward to some other videos. Obviously, we're putting out about 4 every week. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to that, as well as the streams on Saturdays. So hopefully you guys are enjoying these, and we'll be looking to do more in the future. Possibly, like Riff was talking about, some co-op streams with some people in events or whatnot, as well as maybe in the future doing some Star Rail stuff. Maybe looking at people's accounts in Star Rail. We'll see. So
Question mark?
yeah, question mark. But yeah, that's everything we've got. So thank you guys for showing up to the stream. I guess, yeah, we'll just see you guys in the next one. All right. Bye, guys.